go. Starting up. It says it's working. I'm just waiting until I actually see the whites of my own eyes.
It's lying. It's lying.
It says I'm live. It just says that
It just says it's live.
It says it's live. The screen's black.
Interesting.
That's not good. Camera's on?
Yeah, everything's on. This is green. This is
Less green.
stream.
How come I don't have a dagger?
I don't know.
Do I get a dagger? I lost my rapier, apparently, as Ben said when I
Yeah.
like, almost died. But this says I should have a dagger, and I don't have a dagger.
Is it an option or is it just a
You just get to
It says
you
let
just
it
get
on it
to
and a dagger.
Just write it down.
So I have a dagger.
It's not saying anything's happening.
I have a dagger.
I have a dagger.
I'm going to stop.
I hate it when that happens.
All right.
You know the page only loads when you go to close it, right?
Yeah. You click it. No!
Yeah. Okay. We should be good.
Yay!
We should be good. Hello.
We killed the barbarian.
Yep. She's dead. Gone forever.
I was gonna check on the stream.
Yeah. Sorry. We had a bug there. It said it was streaming. I couldn't see anything. Things were weird. We're back on. The dog's being loud, as he usually is. We're good. Everything's fine. We're fine.
We figured out a better way to make tents.
All right. So what do you want to do?
So how many people could we fit under the tents if we sewed them together and prop them up? Like if we like cut
You
them
would make it really low setting, and you could probably fit. I mean, really, you could fit basically still 8 people underneath it. You can make it lower setting and just like lie underneath it, maybe. It fits 4 people lying down. It's not like you can have.
Well, yeah, I know, but no, I'm saying we cut it open so that it's just more cloth, more area. Yeah.
Okay. You could do that. It would be uncomfortable. Make a perception roll. Actually, just straight intelligence. Make an intelligence
Okay, we're all
roll.
making intelligence.
Whoever wants to cut this open and sew it.
I'm totally on making lean-tos.
All right.
I want to do that. I'm kind of into this idea.
Everyone wants to make lean-tos except for the sleeping guy. All right.
Yeah.
So, how do you want to build a lean-to? We spent like half an hour trying to build a lean-to.
Well, okay, I've got 4 javelins. We have a bunch of oars.
3 javelins. You threw one away.
3. Sorry, that's what I meant.
Why
3
did
javelins.
Erase said 4 and write 3.
Because I lost it after I left last night.
So we're going to prop the boats up and then put the oars.
Okay.
Is that right?
It's 4 oars per boat. You have 3 boats, but you have 2 additional oars.
Yeah.
So you have 3 boats and 8 oars.
Paddle down.
14 oars. Okay.
Basically, it makes like a truss cable and tie it. Yes.
Is this more or less how you want to build it?
Yeah, we crossed them like
It
this.
is like that? Okay.
And then
Okay.
so that we
Just
tie
yeah,
them
roll
down.
for it.
Please just roll for it, okay?
And we put them on top.
So what are we rolling?
You are rolling. Are you like actually in the
supervising.
building process, or are you supervising?
I'm going to help lift the
Thank you.
lift the boat.
All right. So who all wants to lift the boats?
Rue and I are helping.
All right. All right.
Highest dexterity.
I have an 18.
You should probably tie the knot.
Okay.
You cast ceremony
Well,
for that.
actually, we should tie and put oars first.
There's a rope tying ceremony.
Tie the knot.
Tie the knot.
Get married. Okay. So
I think we should probably tie the oars first, and then lift them. Then they're done that, and again on top of it.
by the way, there's still a rope tied to Grady.
He's fine.
I didn't want to tie the rope.
Good luck. Try for it.
I'm also still almost dead.
He's
Should we
fine.
feed the goat?
Roll dexterity.
22.
22. You nearly chip a nail, and you really start trying to dig into this. But this knot, even with a 22, he did with a 1.
This is a good
So I'm gonna be stuck with the knot forever. Wait, what? What is this? Can I just try to untie the knot
Why
myself?
don't I just cut the rope? I go to cut the rope.
All right, go ahead and so what are you using for your dagger? So you pull out one of the 4 daggers you had from earlier, and you cut the rope off, no problem.
Thank you.
All right, so you guys are moving the boat.
Yep. We need to tie the oars together first. Otherwise, we have nothing to prop the boats on top of.
You try and grab the boats from the shore and pull them inland.
Guys, in the boats, transport everything. Sorry.
Transporting.
As you're talking about this, one of the boats begins drifting away.
Okay, we start chasing after the darn thing.
All right.
You start chasing after the thing. Okay, I freak out and start chasing after the thing. And
It's now drifted about 15 feet into the water.
I jump into the water and start swimming after it.
Make an athletics check.
I'm so glad I've been asleep this whole time.
Total 20.
Total 20. You swim, and you grab onto the boat. Now you're holding onto this boat.
Wait, we have the rope, right? Can we like toss her a rope?
You could.
Okay.
Are you going to toss her a rope, Gregory?
Well, what would I be rolling for that? Because
Dexterity.
Dexterity?
Okay.
The rope, yeah.
Let's. Okay.
Right.
Here we go.
I think a rope is.
I'd say it'd be athletics for just hauling,
Yeah.
throwing a rope.
Okay.
It's not like
Athletics?
yeah, it's not like it's a throwing dagger or a javelin or something. Athletics?
5. Yes.
5.
Yes.
You grab this rope and
Wait, no. Sorry. 6.
Okay. You grab this rope and you
Goes
take
1 inch
3.
further than
You
you.
take
Yeah,
3
athletics?
bounding leaps forward,
Plus 1 right.
and you toss the rope as hard as you can. Unfortunately, you have hooves, and this is very soggy sand. You're like, yeah.
Nice. I go pick up the rope and try to throw it at her.
All right.
I practiced hand. I'm trying
Athletics
to
for throwing the
pull
rope
this
at
thing
her.
in. I do have an 18.
All right. You pick up the rope just right as it hits the ground. Pick up the rope and you throw it, and it lands right in the boat, within arm reach of Chakal.
Okay.
I also hold on to the other end.
Okay.
I should probably try to climb into the boat so I can pull my way in. Or I'm just chilling, holding onto the boat and the rope in the water.
All right.
That's how you get
So you want to get in the boat?
I would like to get in the boat because
Look, there's no threat around at the moment, so I'm just gonna say you get into the boat. It's a life raft. You're strong. You just get your way into the boat, and you grab onto the rope.
I'm gonna grab onto the rope and I'm gonna start pulling my way in.
All right. Both of you make a strength check.
Oh dear. That was bad. That was 4.
I grabbed the rope and tried to
Oh,
help.
thanks.
Sorry, I'm only good at throwing things.
Just straight
16.
Just strength.
16.
16.
14.
So both of you hold on to the rope, and you begin pulling. As you begin pulling,
18.
at the moment you begin to pull, you
18.
bam.
It's not a saving throw.
You don't face plant into
Okay.
the mud. You do catch yourself, but you're caught off balance for a moment, and then Gregory grabs onto the rope, and between the 3 of you, you pull the boat to shore.
There we go.
Yay.
You know what? I'm just gonna attempt to grab everything.
While you've been doing all this, the other 2 boats have drifted out.
No!
They do look like they're going to start bobbing away.
I'm going to
with the
start
tide.
grabbing one of the other boats and bringing it back.
All right. Are you gonna? Okay. What do you do? So it's a strength. Grabbing the boat.
What am I doing?
Yeah, you grabbing the boat.
Yes, grabbing the boat.
Okay, by yourself.
I assume with the help of people who are going to.
All right.
Gonna like,
No,
I don't know, tie your horse
there's
to the
3
boat.
boats right there?
There's 3 boats.
So there's still one more?
There's the
Never
one that
mind.
you pull to shore.
Yeah.
I'm going to tie a rope to my horse and tie the other end rope to the boat and use my horse to pull the boat up.
All right. Let's see. I don't have stats for your horse.
Yes, that's what you should do.
But do you want me to roll for the horse, or do you want to roll for the horse?
Mike, can you look up riding horse?
Yes, I can.
I tell
I will roll
Frank
my
and
horse.
Dimitri and
Okay.
whoever to go and
Almost got it on the first try.
select the other boat.
There's
Plus
Frank,
3.
Dimitri, Henry, and Jim's is looking.
James is still here.
Total
Okay.
20.
Total 20.
Yes.
All right. So I don't even know what that was for, but you tie the boat to your horse, and the horse begins pulling it up onto the beach nearby where all the other boats are. So Jim's, Frank, Dimitri, and Henry. So Jim's lets go of your hand and grabs the boats with all his other guys, and they're gonna all start lifting it up and bringing it
Jim's
up.
helping, like it's lifted off the ground, he's just hanging on to it.
Pretty
He's
much.
kicking
He's
in the
like
air.
the dwarf from Pirates of the Caribbean. He's just like, ah!
Marty. His name's
Yeah, Marty.
Wow. Actually, so he does. He starts pulling up the front of the boat, and for a very small guy, and you begin to realize he's actually quite a young halfling. He pulls it up and he starts dragging it on pretty strong on his own. Dimitri and Henry begin picking up, and they start picking up with a little problem. Frank just sits there and looks at them for a moment. Okay. Walks over, watches them. As soon as they pass by him, he just grabs the boat, puts it on his shoulder, and walks it over. He rolled a 20. And he just puts it down there. Anything else?
Okay, so now we need to tie the oars.
Jim, Frank did that thing.
So, you're still in the boat.
Oh, I'm still in the boat.
You're still in the boat. You two are still holding onto the rope.
Yeah. I want to get out of the boat now.
You get out of the boat.
Make sure you pull the boat all the way up.
Yeah, I get out of the boat and start pulling it up onto the shore.
Roll a strength check.
Total 20.
Total 20. You pick up the boat and you start dragging it on shore. You're pretty strong. This isn't too terribly hard for you. And you put it with the other the other two boats.
Yeah, no, that's the boats.
Yes. It's still raining. Y'all are wet.
I'm going to heal this guy for 2 hit points.
All right.
Aw.
You healed, my friend.
I appreciate it.
You now have 3 hit points, I believe. All right.
You know, just in case you get stung by a mosquito, you know.
Hey.
Little saving throws.
Dire mosquitoes.
Please no.
They're called sturgeons.
So are you going to begin to attempt to?
We're going to tie the oars together and start building these things.
All right. Are you doing
Are we
this?
far enough away? Are we far enough away?
We far enough away from that there water puddle over there.
You are in line with the other two.
Okay, we're close enough to
boats.
Yeah, fine.
Currently, the clerics, you see, they are speaking amongst themselves in hushed tones. Something along the lines.
Can I recommend that the sailors, since they're supposed to be good at this kind of thing, tie the knots?
Can you what?
Recommend that the
Can
sailors.
pass the ceremony.
You can. I mean, I'll tie the knots, so I'm fine with that. Can I tie the knots, please?
Sure, you can. It's a dexterity, I guess. What'd you roll?
8.
8?
Yeah.
You tie a rope, and you know what? If your father were alive, he'd pat you on the shoulder and say, "You know what? You'll do better next time, but it'll be good for now."
I don't think it's going to be good. I'm just really upset. It's been a really long day.
You know, it has been a very long day. It's hard to tie with one hand because Jim's holding onto your other one now
It's hard to tie
again.
with one hand, and then it's also kind of hard to see when you're crying.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. Captain, can I just recommend that you have some excellent men under your command?
Yeah, you try to
that are
push one
really
more.
What
good.
boat were you on?
Yeah.
Trying to cheer her up. And you know, being
we're excellent men.
sailors, they.
I was going to say it. I was thinking about it. No!
There were some men and one really excellent man.
And then there was Jason!
And I'm thinking that someone like Frank could be really good at tying these knots. Why don't we have Frank tie these knots and we take a little breather and sit over here on this nice sandbar with Jim's, and you and I, you know, help supervise briefly. Okay, I'm gonna go sit down right now.
I give her a hug.
Okay.
Her back.
All right.
We watch Frank now tie knots.
All right.
Some of
That's
us
not
don't.
creepy.
Some of us don't.
So Tessa's currently taking care of your horse at the moment.
Yeah.
And Jason,
Jason's dead.
Henry.
Just think if the boat falls on you.
Henry's going to begin trying to tie knots. Okay.
We said Frank.
Who did I say?
You said Henry.
Henry. Right. Frank. Frank looks at the knot that you did, and the moment that you turn away from the hook, he quickly makes it a bit tighter, moves on to the next one. He continues tying knots.
10 minutes of rope tying later.
He ties some very sturdy knots. All of the oars are tied together in a cross pattern. Very secure. You actually have trouble trying to even budge the ropes, the oars apart at all.
I come up and slap Frank on the back and say, "Well done, sir."
Okay. He flinches a moment and looks at you and says, "Thanks." And he kind of just gets back to like stacking them all on top of each other. And he's gonna walk over to you guys and say, looks over at you. You two are hugging. Halon, what are you doing?
I'm overseeing the tying. I was overseeing. Well, now that the ropes are tied, I'm gonna start putting the boats onto the oars.
Okay. He's gonna turn to you and say, you seem handy with
Hands.
things. Do you have any ideas for what we should do here?
Wait,
I don't
Gregory.
know from the hug.
who said what?
Frank asked Gregory if he has any ideas on building these
Would you
tents.
two like me to cast ceremony?
I think you're to back off.
I don't want to be very.
Roll to intimidate. I was joking, but okay.
You're the DM. I follow the DM.
I mean, if you want him to back off, that would be intimidation.
No.
Okay.
Wait, so what's left to do? They're all
We need
tied.
to-
What are
The
they
knots are
supposed to
tied. We're now trying to assemble these into lean-tos.
We have to put the boat on top of the oars.
Yes.
Oh, we have to stick the oars in the ground.
Well, someone has to stick the oars in the ground, hold them in place while somebody else puts the boat on top.
Frank and Henry can hold the oars in place.
All right.
Gregory and Shakal and
Why don't we have Stefan pull his own weight?
Yeah, Stefan's currently.
Stefan.
Yeah, Stefan's.
Make Stefan do something.
Stefan's standing here, and he's kind of just like at the mentality of I'm just going to stand here and bear it
Yeah.
for as long as.
I'm
One of the tallest
going
ones,
to
though, putting the boat on top.
summon
sort of-
Stefan and ask him for help putting up one of the boats.
Stefan walks over to you really quickly. Yeah, yes, sir.
You don't have to call me sir.
Although it is a-
Okay. What?
Could you give me a hand lifting up this boat so we can put it on the oars?
Yeah, sure. So he's going to make a strength check to pick up the boat. All right. What do you get?
I got just strength.
Yes.
19.
All right. You got a natural 20.
Nice.
So he's like very eager to please you. He grabs the boat and picks up. Where are we putting this?
Onto the oars.
All right. Trudges over there and puts it down there. Frank, who is currently quite familiar with this boat lifting thing, quickly puts the oars underneath, and they have a little bro moment of boat lifting.
Yay.
Excellent work, Stefan.
Frank, you're not supposed to be friends with that man.
Frank looks at you. Okay.
Frank,
Is Frank the new Jason?
you can be friends with whoever you want.
He looks at you. Looks at Sue. Looks at you.
The wheels
Okay.
are turning.
I'm going to
but
roll
nobody's
persuasion. Frank, you can be friends with whoever you want. That'd be a 11.
Okay. He just looks at the two of you, turns around, starts picking up another pair of oars. You start to get the idea that Frank doesn't talk a lot.
We kind of noticed that.
So we currently have one lean-to assembled.
Yay. Okay, let's assemble the other
I
two.
assume it's facing away from the trees.
It is currently facing away from the trees, meaning that the open part is to the ocean.
Okay, good.
Yeah, now we can't see them coming.
We also can't get sniped.
Also can't see them coming.
Alright, let's build these other two lean-tos.
Don't worry, I'll be up in 4 hours.
This is true, he will.
Henry
And I'll let you sleep.
is looking around at all this, and you see that he's kind of sketching in the sand, like trying to figure out how these lean-tos should work together well, given the shapes of life rafts, and he's not quite figuring it out.
Use the Pythagorean theorem.
He does discover that briefly and then forgets it. No, he's like,
Equilateral or isosceles?
so you guys are going to try to keep moving the other ones. How do you want to face these?
The same as the other one?
Same as the other ones, so that all the air is facing into the.
We should, so the first one's here, we should face the others at kind of like an angle there.
So they kind of face into each other?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like a half TP?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright, good idea.
Okay.
We do that.
We
Alright,
that.
you do that? Do you want to order people, or do you want to just make strength checks and try it?
Order people.
Let's everybody pitch in. Many hands make light work.
Fine.
And many work makes light hands.
I got a 1.
I got a total 20.
What are you rolling? Strength?
Strength.
10.
Alright. So, Sue, you begin to grab one of the boats and lift it up. Halon comes next to you, and he helps you, supports it up, moves it over. The two of you, no problem, move it over there. Your sailors are beginning to gather driftwood and parts of the shipwreck that have started to wash ashore to make a campfire or something. Beginning to build a fire pit. It is raining, but they're still gathering supplies as they would do if they were marooned.
I figured.
Hannah, on the other, Chakal, on the other hand,
Also, I'm not there. I'm asleep.
goes to the boat. And as she goes to pick it up, she barks her shin on it and falls face first right in there.
I'm sad. I'm asleep right now.
I mean, you are aware of the world around you in your trance.
Just kind of going.
Wait a second. I look at the tents and say, these need some sprucing up. So I cast Prestidigitation to make them brightly colored.
All right.
Yes!
And suddenly the very soaking wet, dull blue of the tents and the drab, some partly cracked wood of the life rafts turns into there's a vibrant greens and golds and harvest colors galore, and the boats themselves look cleaner, sparklier. There's no barnacles on them anymore. There's no sludge or seaweed.
Murderer! We just killed a bunch of barnacles.
Everything is like squeaky clean. It actually has like the smell of fresh pine.
That's a little better.
Turns out the entire crew is allergic to pine.
No.
Jim's grasped your hand a little tighter.
It's fine. We're okay.
I'm trying to adjust my eyes to the very bright pink that's now, half an inch from my eyeballs with this splitting headache.
Oh yes, there's a quick as the boat that Chakal is in suddenly turned into a hot pink. You look at that and go, huh? So do you want to retry that boat?
Yeah, I'd like to retry that.
Would you like some help?
Make a perception check.
She sees nothing. That is a 3.
He's an elf. He's definitely an elf.
Maybe? What kind of help? No, actually, never mind. I'm good. I'm fine. Fine. I'm rolling a strength.
Strong, independent woman.
I have a 16, and I'm fine.
You start staring at him like, drag.
Thank you for the offer.
Drag, and you it overthrows him in the same pattern you guys have been doing.
Awesome.
All right.
Whose idea was pink? You're weird, dude.
I mean,
Technically, it was his idea for my idea to be big.
No, you said it was hot pink in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
No! I said bright paint.
Paint.
Oh.
Let's just stick with the
Oh.
It's my eye.
Anyway, moving right along. So, all the boats have been arranged into a like half lean-to, half teepee that can comfortably fit about 5 people. And for the shorter among you, you can actually stand up all the way in parts of it. And the taller among you, you can hunch down a bit and still stand on the inside. That would be Jim's, you. I don't know how tall the other people are.
I'm 6 foot.
I'm 5'10".
I forget what I am.
How tall is your wife?
6'1".
Yeah,
She's like
I'm 6'3".
5'5".
Wait, how tall are you?
6 foot. That's nice. You're an elf.
Half.
What do you guys want to do for the night? There's still the
I want to go to sleep.
I want to sleep.
Okay.
Tired.
So
I'm going to try to get a fire lit.
okay.
Trying to get lit.
So that would be
Grady?
survival?
With prestidigitation, you can light and dampen campfires and other such things. Grady is relatively new to the game, so help him out, guys, in the chat. All no one of you there?
No, there's 4 people on the chat.
Alright.
Actually, technically 3, because I'm on there too.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm on there too.
Wait, so what were you going to
Okay, so there's 2 people.
Would that be a survival
Chauncey, are
roll?
you
Now,
on this chat?
that would be a yes.
Chauncey's on the chat. We have 1 person watching. Thank you, person.
19.
19. You begin taking some sticks, and you are able to, with some of the twine, make one of those bow drills. And you begin starting to make a good fire from the sheltered area you have
an explorer's
with your
pack.
lean-to.
Yeah, I do have explorers.
Oh, you can use a flint and steel in there.
Yeah.
You use a flint and steel in there.
Yeah, I was gonna say okay.
Like, I'm going
And,
to go through this long, complicated
within-
process because, showing off.
You begin to make a nice, comfortable fire. Your wife comes in and she begins helping you, feeding it kindling, and you soon have a nice little
And
fire
Stefan.
glowing.
No.
Stefan is
There will be no sacrificing Stefan.
Stefan is standing in the middle, sitting in the middle of the lean-to, just kind of nervous and looking around.
Is there anything I can roll to like go to sleep and try to ignore all these people?
You can just go to sleep and ignore everyone. He's
Okay,
been doing it
I'm
very
like-
successfully for a while.
I'm asleep and
Even
ignore
without
all
being
these people.
asleep.
All right, so you just lie down right on the sand and just pass out.
I will take first watch.
All right.
Excellent.
The clerics walk up to you and say, well, it appears that you did not need our help. We will retire to our tents and see if you need anything else. If you need anything, let us know. We can have a couple extra people in these tents as well. So,
You have Stefan, Jims, and Frank into the tent with the clerics.
okay. Frank and...
Jim's not going to go over there, you know that, right?
Oh, wait, never mind. We keep Jims and Stefan, maybe Frank, and shove this dude and his wife over into the tent with the clerics.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
would
okay.
like to have Stefan come with me.
Okay. Are you in the lean-to or are you going to go to the tent?
We'll go to the tent.
All right,
I'm
so...
also going to be taking first watch, so I'm going to be outside the tent.
All right, so Tessa goes into the tent. Not the one that you're in. She goes into the other empty tent, which is currently empty. One of the clerics trips on you on the way in, and then he has a quick shush conversation, and then the two of them are going to attempt to just like pick you up and move you over. That's not a D20.
It's a D12.
Nice.
They both pick you up, guy walk you over, put you down, and they both just lie down and go to sleep. I just rolled the same number twice in a row, and before that I rolled 2 of the same number twice in a row. So
It's like Grady with rolling the... Was it Sam or was it Grady?
it was Grady who rolled
It was
4
Grady.
11s in a row.
4 11s in a row, yeah.
11.
Anyway, so 2 of the monks or the clerics are asleep. There's the one who spoke to you earlier, and he's a very tall, powerfully looking built, apparently human, with dark skin. And he also has a thick beard which has little streaks of white in it, and there's a hood that's covering most of his face, and he is standing outside the tent just kind of keeping a watch out over other things as well. Let's see.
Who's this guy?
This is the first guy who talked to you at the very beginning.
Oh, okay.
If you guys want to go to sleep now, if you want to pass out the things you were able to grab from the ship, or look through those documents you have or anything, now is a good time to do
I would
that.
like to look through my documents.
Okay, Gregory, what are you doing?
I'm gonna find a spot and tinker more on my clocky thing, I guess.
All right. Roll a d20, add your proficiency modifier.
19.
Plus anything? Proficiency?
Plus 2 proficiency is 19.
Okay. So as you're taking your little, is it the clockwork ball, or is it the metronome you had?
How about the metronome?
Okay. As you begin tinkering with it a bit more, you start taking it apart and reassembling it so that there's a little catch that will release something, depending on how long you set the metronome for, and you've turned it from a metronome to like a timed tripwire.
And then
Because that was me.
All right, so you're taking the first watch. Anyone with you? Is Stefan keeping watch with you?
Also, during my watch, I'm going to cast ceremony and make one pint? 1 quart?
Gallon?
1 unit of some sort of holy water.
Does it come in pints?
All right.
It is 1 vial of holy water.
All right. How long does that take?
You disgust me with your ridiculous.
Casting time is 1 hour.
All right. So you're gonna spend 1 hour of this until the dawn, making some holy water while keeping watch. I'm gonna say that you're gonna be yes.
Ceremony?
Yeah.
Yes. 25 gold worth of materials on you. It consumes 25 gold.
I have to do that?
Yep. Iron or silver. If you got it, you can do it.
Thank you. Disembodied voice.
We have a number running
Said
machine
read
in the
the dice
background
spell.
by the name of Chauncey.
I know everything.
That's it.
All right.
Some
So
holy water, but I don't think
you three are asleep. You're keeping watch. Stefan is going to keep first watch as well because you're keeping first watch. He kind of feels like he should be pulling his weight, and you're the only person apparently who'll vouch for him. So
fallen asleep after that.
you fall asleep. You are you're going through your documents. Okay,
What?
there's documents.
I know. I don't really watch my tie them.
Go for it.
Wait, where did those come from?
He worked really hard on those. Open them.
Oh.
I worked
you
really
can't
hard on
open
it.
them?
Yeah.
Demo contract.
I never know if they're open.
Wait, where were the documents from?
When she was searching the hold of the ship, she was able to grab some documents that were in the burning hold. Thanks, Micah.
Thanks a lot.
This is
I'm
our
scared.
hackers comparison.
You either can or choose to keep the information you have in there private, whatever. Or you can read it out loud. Everyone pretends like they don't hear. Whatever.
I'm as tall as I need to be.
Okay, I need to go into this asshole.
I'm sorry, there's going to be a little bit of pizza.
Thomas, I remain
That's fine.
medium.
No, not really.
Which is not in here.
Everyone's currently asleep, so if you want to
Yeah.
read out loud for sake of audience, you can.
Okay, for the sake of the audience.
And you guys pretend you don't know anything unless you want a perception check. Eavesdrop.
Okay.
I'm asleep.
I
Meditating.
don't
I'll
know how
do
to say
that.
all of these words.
I'll do
but
that.
I'll
I'm
try.
keeping watch. I'll go perception see if I hear anything.
Am I allowed to read now?
Go ahead.
Okay.
The
15.
captain of Stonekeep,
You don't really hear
Sissy,
anything. You hear read.
Fenrir, Rear? Whatever. To the owner of Sue's Mercantile Trading Company, I don't know why you requested this sailor to join your security force, given his shady past. I'm further confused why a supposedly upstanding merchant like yourself would bail a soldier out of jail for no good reason. I'm curious as to why you would want a former thief by your side. I'll keep that in mind for our future transactions. I expect an excellent deal, Richard. I am Fenrir. Is that a K? Ben?
Sure.
Rick. It's okay. Sweet.
That's what the words look like.
They look like words.
Ooh, fun.
Mm-hmm.
Fancy. Alright, I'm gonna go for this one, I think.
Well, obviously Jason used to be a thief, so it's good that he's dead now.
Says the Redemption Paladin.
I'm not technically yet. I'm on to level 3.
Okay.
Oh, this one's Warbird. Okay. Aw, yay. Okay. Is it a love letter?
It was.
No. I don't want to talk about it. My dear Catherine, I hope this finds you in good, I'm going to assume that says health. I am so sorry I missed your wedding. I cannot wait until you come and visit Stonekeep. I have also sent a little gift for my little thorn rose. I miss you so much. Never turn down a compliment. I love you, Dad. Never give a creepy smile, Mom.
You look down at your rapier that you have by your side. You see engraved in the blade, it's a brass guard of open flower petals with a twisted vine guard. And engraved in the blade is the thorned rose.
Well, that was depressing.
I thought you were going to say, sorry I couldn't attend your wedding. I can't wait for the next one. But that's
You're a horrible person. Alright.
Well, he
Until
really
level
wants to
3.
cast ceremony.
I just want to cast ceremony.
But he needs to go to town and buy silver.
I'm gonna
Cannot
finish
afford
reading
right
these.
now. Yes.
Unless I saw the barbarian.
This one's more special. That one's gonna go right there.
What? I'm honestly considering.
Oh,
Let's
this
sell
is good.
Stefan.
Oh, this is good.
He might be useful.
No.
You can sell
So
gems.
I kind of like him, so.
I've got
Yeah, you
that.
can probably fetch good coins for some.
And that I actually have a different map over here. I'm gonna show you real quick.
I might need that.
There's actually a grid pad on here. The grids correspond, so I can keep track of where you guys are.
Awesome. Wait, I have 2 maps.
Yes.
Wait, why are there 2?
Because
Now you have 2 maps.
there's more people in the party than just you. And I didn't want to make everyone a map.
I don't want to share. Okay, fine.
Now
This one. Okay. This is okay.
There's also stuff in your pouch as well.
This is special.
So in your pouch, you find that you were able to shove 3 minor healing potions in there.
I can afford to buy the silver
Have
I
you seen
need.
the healing potions then?
I wonder if I sell my dagger, I can afford a rapier.
Well, the dagger is 2 gold pieces.
So you
The
have.
rapier's 25.
Maybe we should figure out my favorite of it.
Maybe I can steal a rapier.
What?
She's doing things.
What
What?
am I supposed to do with these? Open them?
If you want to, you don't have to.
No, I'm gonna save them for later.
Alright. So you're going to put the rest. Feeling quite tired, you put the rest of the documents in your pack. Alright. Do you go to sleep? Do you do anything else?
I cry myself to sleep.
Okay. You cry yourself to sleep, and Jim's, who is
I
kind of
was
like.
about to say, Jim's cannot be holding onto my hands still.
No, he fell asleep, his head like resting in your lap. And as you start crying, he like snuggles in a bit more.
Yeah, I just cried myself.
Once we get to town, I can cast ceremony.
Hashtag squad goals right there.
Alright, so as the night progresses, so
Question:
Wait.
Sleeping counts as a long rest.
yes, it does.
Also, while I'm on watch, can I look for a yew leaf?
Sure. Make a survival check.
Because spells need components.
Which stuff?
Poison, disease, detect.
Does it consume the material component?
It does not say it does.
And
Then
you don't.
use your holy symbol.
Okay, cool. Never mind. I don't need to do that.
Cool.
So as long as it says, as long as it doesn't say consumes, I can use my symbol.
Yeah.
Basically,
Cool.
so long as it doesn't have any gold piece value, you can.
Great.
Also, there
Cast
are
it.
some things you don't have value that are consumed, but those are gray area.
Anyway, so make a perception check.
Perception, that would be a 17.
Alright. Alright, so Stefan, you see, is keeping watch next to you, and he's sitting down by one of the small fires that the sailors lit, and is keeping watch out. He doesn't have any weapon or anything, he's just sitting there, and you see he starts to like.
It's alright, friend. You can go to sleep.
Alright. I want to make sure people here have a reason to trust me. I don't have a lot of chances left, I think.
It's fine,
Oh,
Stefan.
he doesn't.
Foreshadowing.
I trust
He's
you.
gonna die.
Okay, so
Yeah, he was the guy.
he ducks back into the tent, and you hear that he falls asleep really quickly, and you start seeing some eyes glowing, like reflecting in the firelight.
Friends, there's eyes!
So you yell that?
No, I'm not going to yell that.
Wake me up when there's a body behind us.
Friends, there are eyes.
Dead or alive.
I'm going to keep watching the eyes.
All right. You see that they're keeping distance from the fire, but they're starting to step cautiously forward.
How do eyes step?
Whatever the eyes are attached to slowly stepped in.
I'm going to
Lower the rest of
I'm
this?
going to stand up, hold my quarterstaff, and just kind of look menacing at them.
All right, make an intimidation check.
Intimidation.
18.
All right. All right. So as you stand up and you stand there, you kind of look forward. Suddenly, a wolf rushes forward and jumps right at you. It's going to make an attack roll because he rolled a 20 on his anti-intimidation.
Great.
He rolls a 1 to actually attack you though.
He falls right into the fire.
So you're kind of like right next to the fire. He jumps up and miscalculates the distance and lands right in front of you, snarling, biting at absolutely nothing.
Okay.
This is just a wolf, by the way.
Got it.
Just a wolf.
It's a wolf.
Good luck trying to convince this guy to join us.
What?
He don't understand.
Reflecting from the firelight.
That's what animal handling is for.
Oh,
We just
dear.
said eyes.
What do you do? There's a wolf right in front of you. And presumably several other just starting to kind of creep in a bit.
I haven't taken my long rest yet, have I?
No, you have not because you've
Okay.
been watching.
So,
Oh my.
I am going to call for my friends
Zaw.
and cast Lay on Hands on myself for 10 hit points.
Okay.
So I am out of Lay on Hands until my next long rest. But I have 16 hit points now. I have summoned my friends.
All right. Your friends being sailor folk or the
Define
fighter
friends.
I'm just going to call out in general. There is a wolf and they're going to attack us.
Should we like roll for whether we wake
a
up or not or
wolf?
something?
There are wolves.
Alright, I'm gonna get up for 2 or more wolves.
You have to roll initiative because I was just gonna bolt upright and.
Yeah, you will have to roll initiative if you so choose.
There is pie number of wolves.
I'm X.
654.
That's many wolves. Eve,
Okay,
one wolf.
I roll initiative.
All right.
Are we all doing initiative?
If you so choose, you can just sleep through it if you want to. I mean, you know.
I choose initiative.
All right.
Dang it.
15.
15.
Hey.
7.
Hold on a minute.
5.
Wolves, I'm not afraid to beat up a wolf.
All right. Since I don't actually have a wolf battle map and stuff, we're just going to use the theater of our minds. But you
And
can
so is our audience.
yes, but you can take your little figurines and like move them around like right there on top of the monster manual and stuff, and they'll be like, yeah. Okay.
I rolled
Okay.
stuff.
You what?
I said I rolled stuff.
I still have to roll.
Cool. Awesome.
She's stuck.
I'm gonna go with no. Thanks,
I
guys.
assume you're sleeping.
I was trying to see.
Sleeping.
Trying to see what.
All right.
It is this one. Okay. So.
All right. So initiative.
I don't, we don't have any coins.
15.
15. All right. 15.
15.
Also 15.
What'd you roll, Brady?
5, I think. I can't remember if I rolled 5 or if I added and got 5. I think
Alright.
I think I.
Who is the next closest after 15?
For
Initiative.
7.
7. Are you rolling?
Yes, I did. I got 22.
Okay.
To not do anything?
I'm getting up. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to burn.
Chakal is 7.
Oh wait. What do I?
Initiative.
I make
Oh,
no
8.
promises.
8. Sorry.
8.
I had 8.
And Gregory is
5
okay.
or less than everyone, whatever it was.
Last.
All right.
Small.
Cool.
The first was small.
Thanks.
Because tactics is their primary you kind of need to have
All right.
Oh, right. Pack tactics.
Bugger.
You have advantage on attack rolls if they're next to each other.
There's somebody next to you.
Hey, my ship.
Move the that please.
Move the book.
We're going to do battle on a giant ice boat.
Yes. So ignore the boat. It's supposed to be what it's supposed to be, and yeah. All right. So Halon is yes. Yeah. So
Keep in mind, getting up from unconscious, half your move speed is consumed getting up.
right.
From wherever you're at, plus getting up, so you're gonna be.
I don't know where the temple
Oh!
That's a lot of
1, 2,
wolves.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Ooh!
Man,
9,
I should not have rolled last. I have a useful thing.
11.
Where are the lifeboats?
Y'all are over here.
Where are the me and Tom
over here. Yeah. All right.
Let's make a nice big clump.
Let's look at the.
Wow. Thanks, Ben.
There we go.
Well, you can blame Chauncey for that.
All right. So going first is Idris.
So, yeah, basically at this point from now on, every combat is designed specifically to kill us.
All right.
Yay.
First initiative order, Idris. What do you do?
Alright, well, I get up.
All right, that's gonna be half your movement.
Yes, it is.
What do you do?
I'm going to cast mage armor on myself.
All right, is that an action or bonus action?
That is an action.
That's an action. Okay.
And then I'm going to go into my blade song as a bonus action.
Okay.
So, my 15 feet is now 25 feet of movement.
Okay.
So I gain plus 10 movement. My armor class is much better now. I'll knock off the blade song.
Do you have any other abilities or sorry,
I
actions?
just used all of my
All right.
actions. I'm going to move forward.
I suppose wolves count as small guys.
Medium.
Or medium, yeah.
10.
My class is 13. Sam, what's your armor class?
15. I'm pretty sure. That is a 16.
Yeah, I'll just go up to this wolf here.
All right. Halon. Halon, you're up.
I've done everything.
Yeah.
You use flying to cover.
Yes.
How much you get?
Ladies first?
What?
Ladies first?
You saw
Actually,
me.
I have 5 feet.
You're also right in front of it.
This is
Yeah.
true. Okay.
There you go. I'm flanking it for you.
Thank you.
So it's like, I have 5 feet of movement. We're going to flank it. Why not?
Advantage. Okay.
And covers for certain pluses to certain covers.
Right.
So for now, I am going to attack the wolf right in front of me.
With your quarterstaff?
Yes, with
Okay.
my quarterstaff. That would be a 17.
It hits.
Okay, flanking. You might get a crit.
Yeah, you have advantage.
Is it
because he's
facing
flanking.
me or?
As long as you're off the side.
Oh, got it. Okay. No. It is a 17 hit.
17. That hits.
Okay. Quarterstaff is 1d6 because I'm using my shield. 5 hit points.
5. Okay.
And then, as a bonus action, I'm going to cast.
I'd like to note that this wolf is now beginning to want to back away and looking. Was not expecting its prey to have fangs of its own.
Okay. As bonus action, I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on myself, getting a +2 AC.
All right.
That's cute.
You do that. Next up.
You.
Armor class of 20 right now.
Next up is Captain Sue.
Hey, I
I
want
don't know, I'm
to
class of 19. I'm not wearing any.
All right. Do you want?
Come on, sir.
You want to stand up first?
I'm wearing a costume, okay?
Okay. So you're rolling stealth.
You are a costume.
Hey, what's on the card?
Okay.
There's a difference.
All right.
If you're a card, that makes us a deck of many things.
I'm the Joker.
I'm Batman.
Okay.
Too bad because
so
I'll
you're,
always
you're
get out of
currently
Arkham and you'll
you're
never
currently
get me.
considering yourself in stealth.
Okay.
Stealth mode.
I'm going to. Now I'm going to get up.
All right. As you get up,
If you stealth, you lose stealth.
Oh, okay.
as you begin to get up,
I don't rogue. I don't know how this works.
Jim looks at you kind of wide-eyed and a little nervous. What's going on?
Throw Kim's.
There's wolves here. There's
Throw
the
him to the
wolves
wolves
here.
here.
Jimbo.
Throw him to the wolves, literally.
Jim's looks a little wild-eyed,
Stefan, get out here.
and he reaches into your bag and he pulls out one of your daggers.
He can have that.
Okay.
I put a hand on my rapier.
All right.
Pull it out.
Would you like to stealth now?
Yeah, no, I'd like to stealth.
Okay.
Are you still inside the tent? Or the lean-to?
Technically, yes.
Okay.
I just got up. I'm small. Okay.
Just got up on small.
I only have 2 hours.
23.
Okay. All right. So you believe yourself to be stealthy. It means I'm not telling you whether or not they can see you.
Try 11 different checks. One of them probably sees you.
I'm going to run over and try to attack. I don't think I'm close enough to attack somebody.
Your movement is, you currently have half of your movement left.
Oh yeah, I don't have 15. I get closer, but not close enough to do anything.
You can throw a dagger.
No.
Okay.
Actually, if you were right here, right?
If you hit that one, you have to take that one because it's being shown by allies. This is regardless of whether you're.
Also, where's the fire?
Also, your class of rogue does not need to be stealthed. Right. No, you still do.
Okay, got it.
Right there.
Okay. Do I
Fire.
I know I still have a dagger with me.
Yes.
I guess I'll throw it.
Fire.
All right. That is a, I believe that's a dexterity roll. Because that's a.
It's an attack roll using dexterity.
Yeah.
Or strength if it's higher.
Or strength if it's higher, which it's not.
17.
17. That hits. You're hitting the wolf between the two of them.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
have advantage, so you can roll again if you want. Same thing.
All right.
I was 18. But
It's not a crit.
All right. And that is that you get sneak attack on that.
Which means.
Add a d6 on top of the d4 from the dagger and your dexterity modifier.
Yes.
What's your dex mod?
4.
4. Okay, add a d4 and a d6.
Yes.
So I rolled
just
D4
roll.
twice.
No. No.
That was 7. What
Plus
do I
4.
add to that?
Plus 4.
Plus
11.
4. 11.
All right. So as you throw the dagger, it sinks into the wolf's neck with a. It falls over, very dead, and a couple of the wolves begin kind of backing away, seeing their alpha is currently slain.
That was their alpha?
That was their alpha.
Who says the alpha first?
The alpha.
does?
Okay.
He rolled a 20 against your intimidate.
Fair enough.
That's why he attacked you so early.
You lose, bro. You lose.
Yeah.
So you see these wolves are beginning to back up a little bit and looking. Next up in the initiative is. Oh, is there anything else you want to do? Do you have?
She's out of action.
You're out of actions.
I'm out of stuff.
Okay. It's Chakal.
Okay. So I'm gonna roll to.
Grr.
I'm rolling initiative. No.
You already did
No.
that.
You already did that.
You stood
I don't know
up,
why
so
you're
you
rolling
have
anything at all.
15 feet of movement. So you could get up to the dead wolf's corpse.
And
Or you have javelins, you can hawk them.
You can toss javelins
you
at
also have
things.
a hand axe.
15. Yeah. All right. So.
Hand axes.
Noticing that apparently the wolf is dead, or I don't know, there's 3 people on a wolf. I'm not really sure what's going on.
Currently, you don't actually see many of the wolves themselves. You just see these eyes, and there's
Yeah.
one dead wolf at
Yeah, I'm
Halon.
gonna start running towards the eyes.
Okay,
You move.
She can't do something else.
Are you gonna do anything
she does.
else?
That's right. You can see them. You have dark
And
vision.
I'm going to ready my spear as soon as I can see anything to throw it
Oh,
at.
you
You can
You can see them. You have dark vision. I forgot you had
Oh,
dark
that's
vision.
right, I have dark vision.
Also, I have dark vision too,
Anything-
so.
Never mind.
As do I.
Right.
Okay, I would like to target
This half of the
All right.
table.
Never mind.
What?
Ben, Greed doesn't have dark vision?
Nope.
Wait, that should. He should.
He
No,
should.
you traded out dark vision for another thing.
Regular sages don't have dark vision.
You don't?
You might not
Oh,
need it,
huh.
but it might be good to have.
Alright,
Well, there's a fire, so there's dim light.
should I be raging?
I mean, he's a tinkerer. If anyone can get around dark vision.
You're a barbarian.
Okay, so I'm raging.
I'm a singer. I sing.
Unlike some people.
Hey! I'm figured it out. That's why I'm sitting here. Like, are you gonna do anything else?
All right, so that's a bonus action, right? To rage.
Correct.
Yes, I'm
Alright.
raging, and I would like to throw my
I'm gonna flip this back to his tails because.
Okay.
I would like to throw my javelin at this dude over here.
All right. Throw it.
Your attack. Roll.
Okay, roll again.
With advantage because range?
No.
No.
Oh, that'd be a 6.
I rolled a 6.
That was a
That does not hit.
Yeah, that doesn't hit.
The tree really regrets its decisions.
So you throw your javelin into the sand near the wolf. The wolf just like gets out of the way.
I'm not raged, I just don't do anything very well. I just sort of yell.
You get angry and then you lose focus and you can't actually do anything which makes you angrier.
Yeah. So I'm
Um,
just standing there jumping.
jumping. Would you like to do anything with that jumping there?
I'm just
Jump
mad because I left the rest of my javelins back at the lean-to.
Okay. So that's your turn.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Next up is the wolves.
I ran and I jumped.
Alright.
So the wolf, the one that you just attacked, is now going to return the favor.
Return fire. You're supposed to javelin back.
Which one for barbarian?
That's the barbarian check.
One looks like a barbarian.
They have a movement of 40, so yeah.
And the one that acts like
Yeah, 3 of them go up to you. 3 of them start going up behind the gladiator as well. Yes. Roll a perception real quick. Or insight. Chakal, yes.
Only wolves. We don't have.
Dear me.
We already killed the biggest ones, so.
I've got a 7. Cheating.
Surprise handbook's not cheating.
So you really don't seem to understand why they're coming up against you. You did just,
How come
help.
when Travis does it, it's not?
Because he went for the monster manual.
Yeah.
So you understand that the alpha has just been killed, and you don't understand why all these guys are still around.
There's dark magic behind it all.
Definitely,
I can cast
probably.
detect magic.
I'm just gonna say that, put that down to I'm tired, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah, you're not thinking too hard right now. So was 4 around.
There's at least 3 that can attack me.
Run, dude!
So there's gonna be
Except for
3 that are gonna attack Shakal.
Which is
Barbarian.
Okay. I still have all my hits from last time I haven't healed anything.
More or less, yeah.
Tactics.
What are you
Okay.
at?
1 to 2 hits.
Okay.
Only roll it for you.
I'll roll the hits. What's there?
2d4.
2d4.
Enjoy that.
Alright.
Plus.
So that is. Hang on. That is 4, which is going to be reduced down to 2 because you're raging.
With always add a modifier.
Yes.
Modifier is. Plus 2. So that is 6, which is now 3. No, go away. Okay. That's another 6 reduced down to 3, and then the last one was a crit?
Yes.
Okay.
So roll 2 dice.
I'm just going to double the dice number, which is
10.
10, which is half the 5.
11 total.
Oh no.
Give me, okay.
15, 16,
Wait, how many did she have?
17.
I have 28 hit points.
So I had.
As you're doing that, moving right along, there's going to be 2 that are going to attack.
3 for Sue. There's these 3 folks and these 3 on this one. Since there's still 10 left, that'd be.
Sure. There's going to be actually no, just the one in front of her and the 1 to her left are going to attack Sue. The one to Idris's right is going to attack him.
Yeah, they all hit.
They all hit. All right. What's your armor class?
15.
Okay.
Doesn't matter, I can roll with a 16.
So we have
8.
8,
It's nice knowing you.
5,
Controlling pencil.
Alright.
and
Over there.
10.
So total?
23 damage.
Oh, that drops me a lot.
Yeah.
You son
We're all
of a.
gonna die.
Yeah, well, I've got 11.
Unless you ever regret playing a game with combat run by Chauncey.
I'm at -1.
Then you fool. Don't ever tell Chauncey to make a random encounter.
Yeah.
I really rolled for this number. I was going to give you guys traps, like giant sand traps.
That would have been way more fun.
Yeah.
Times maybe 3 or 4 of them, but then they said wolves and stuff like that. Okay, wolves are going to table. This. Oh, you all have wolves.
Anyway, all right. So
Don't die.
Sue is currently down.
I'm not gonna die.
Okay. They're
Not
gonna
yet.
die. We're gonna be
You have
okay.
2 are attacking Idris. What did they? Never mind, they roll. I'll roll.
Yeah, they all hit.
No, I'm rolling.
19 plus whatever.
What is their plus? Because
2 hit
I need
is.
to know exactly
It's
what they
7
roll.
plus 7 to hit, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, no. Plus 4.
Plus 4. All right. That's 16.
16 does not hit.
That's a 20 total. 20.
I'm going to cast Shield of Faith so that my armor class is 24. Not Shield of Faith, but Shield.
I was gonna say, wait, what? How are you doing that?
Until the end of my next turn, my armor class is 24.
Cool. That's a reaction.
Yes.
Okay, that's your reaction. And that's a okay. That after that doesn't hit at all. So
I am Iron Man.
2 what was it? 2 of them hit. None of them hit.
None of them hit.
None of them hit. Okay. Well, they all go out of here, and they don't do nothing. The two that are left are going to attack Halon.
Okay.
You got this, buddy.
That was another one's dead.
That is a 16
That misses.
and a 21.
That hits.
All right.
Roll with advantage.
It's just
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that still only hits anyway. All right, so that is 4 on the one that does actually hit you. Now it is Gregory's turn.
Yay. Where can I go?
Well, you first,
you got one right next to you.
if you have to stand up first.
Yeah.
Right.
And if you move away, you'll provoke an opportunity attack.
So you can move basically anywhere in this arc up to the opportunity attack.
You can get right. Could raise our person.
What?
You could do that.
What?
You can
have,
heal.
Yeah, you have healing word. You can raise.
That would be
or-
nice, and then I would have to make death saving
Oh,
throws.
that's true.
Those suck.
I really wouldn't know.
Keep rolling 20s.
Wait, so how many things can you do?
You can do one action, one bonus action,
And one move.
And
one
one
movement.
movement, and then over the entire round, you can do one
If
reaction.
something
If
says
something,
as a bonus action, you can use it as a bonus action.
Like healing word.
Yes, like healing word.
Okay.
So if you don't want to take the opportunity
Okay.
attack, you can disengage. Take the disengage action, run away, and cast healing word on Sam if you want.
Do I have to be within a range to cast healing word?
30 or
30.
60 feet.
Yeah.
Which is not.
You're
is
within
that-
you're
I'm
within
okay.
you're in playing range.
You're
Yeah.
fine.
Okay.
Or
well,
you
so
could,
I'll
or you,
cast-
or you
I'll
could
do
try, or you
healing
could
word.
try to attack the guy in front of you, and then you cast healing word on her if you want. Or you could,
Right.
yeah.
You'd have to attack him with the dagger since you lost your rapier.
Or you could use one of your cantrips,
Start.
Yeah.
or a spell.
Wait, is a cantrip?
It's
It's
an
not-
attack action.
Okay.
Do, 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 do.
Okay, I cast healing word.
All right.
That's my bonus.
And if you have vicious mockery, I recommend that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an attack cantrip you can do.
So that's
Or action, bonus action, and then do your
healing word is 1d4 plus
modifier.
modifier. Yes.
What range is Thunderwave?
It's a 15-foot cube around you.
Yes.
Which is how
Seth,
far?
you
And it'll
That
affect
originates from.
everything in there, friendly
Or
or.
cast from the corner so you can
Is
that.
the
I don't
radius?
think it is,
The
because
radius
it says
is
it
each square is
originates from
5.
you.
The radius
Okay.
is 5. The radius is 15.
Yeah.
It's a cube.
It's a cube.
A cube 15 feet on the side.
Yeah.
Okay, so it would affect.
Right. So right now
Here,
it's just
50
up
to
to
50.
Oh, it's
up
50
to
feet?
here, right?
You're on the outside of the cube. You cast it away from you. Think cone. with
Wait.
a black
Then
line.
the wave is centered on you.
Yeah,
Isn't
it says, yeah, it says
Yeah.
But the way it shows the graphic of how cubes work. you
Yeah, it's just
are
showing how
outside.
cubes are and where you're
Yeah.
placing them.
But you don't. You're not inside the cube.
The way I'm playing Thunderwave is you're central to it, so it's
Yeah.
an AoE around you.
That's what it says.
That's what it says.
No,
So
with the cubes on spell effects.
You guys can rule lawyer
Alright,
anyway.
looking at-
I'm
That's
saying
not a
it's
rule.
around you.
It means it's a cone effect because it means you take damage if you're inside the area.
I don't care. Let's move on.
So if you cast it, it's centered on you. So it's there.
You start from the
Meaning that you would hit the unconscious too.
outside. If you're a sphere, you start from the
And any attacks.
Except,
Oh, 'cause
except,
it does- 'cause
except he's casting his bonus action first.
Okay.
So roll 1d. You took your 1. You took your d4. Roll that d4.
Okay.
Plus your charisma modifier.
Because
And then
Thunderclap
15
isn't on
foot
you.
bird
Thunder Wave needs to be an outward one in order to not take you with it.
So
16.
Okay.
Yeah, so you get 6 hit points back.
Yay.
Basically, it just spells. I know everything else.
Okay.
Except for Thunderwave.
So now I have 5 hit points.
Yay. Good for you.
6.
No, I was down 1.
No, you're just at 0.
Yeah.
It's negatives don't matter.
Negatives don't matter.
Counts downwards though.
All right.
You
Cool.
still have the
Wait,
cube on
don't
the
say
side
it.
though.
Wait, what?
You get 6 hit points.
Okay. So if I
So you don't go
was-
negative. You only go to 0.
Yeah.
If it were to hit all the way past your
If it was
amount,
yeah.
like total amount, then that would be ridiculous. Anyway,
Wait, so
and
Thunderwave hits
that is-
everyone?
Yes.
They would have to make a.
And you've already cast a spell this turn, so you can't do it.
Dex
So you can do
save?
it.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, it's
maybe-
con, isn't
It's
it?
either con or
Wait.
dex.
Oh, right, because you. Wait, I can't cast another spell?
You can't use more than basically think he can use one spell slot on a turn.
But you can use a bonus action.
You can't use one slot on a turn.
But you can't?
Even though.
Technically, it gets into gray areas when you think about counterspell and shield.
I'm gonna allow that as long as you don't expend your spell slots.
You basically on your turn you can only use one spell slot.
So I guess you can attack.
I'm gonna rule it where as long as you have spell slots and as long as it fits within the action and bonus action, so you're not using a 2 action spells. That's fine. Healing Word is a bonus action spell.
Yes.
So if you want to use an action spell,
Right now,
I will allow it.
take out everyone you just revived.
Would you like to get back in?
Right.
So
Okay, so I'll attack the one in front of me.
okay, you're gonna use a dagger for that. Did you
I've
actually?
been using this.
Do you have? Okay, Vicious Mockery then. So
Which one? How do you? Which does
pick one that's within your. I think it's
60 feet.
Within 60 feet, and then you mock it viciously,
right.
and then you deal damage to its head.
But I mean, how do you know? Why would Vicious Mockery do more than a dagger?
Because it just does.
Do you have a dagger?
It's more of a control
Yeah.
effect.
You do have a dagger?
Well,
Stab it.
Vicious Mockery has a higher chance of hitting.
It's push. For the way his stats are, it's push. So just stab it. Just stab it.
Do what you want.
Well, no, because Vicious Mockery is D4 plus.
Nothing.
Is this just a D4?
C4, it has a rider effect, that's it.
No, okay.
Stabbing does more raw damage, and with
Okay.
your stats, it's about 80 chance of hitting.
Okay, so if you want to, you can just stab it.
Do whatever you want.
Apparently, stabbing would be more effective, but
I mean, if you think about it, there's more options than that too. I mean,
Okay,
you could throw
well,
sand at its ass. You could like
you
drop a
can
boat on him.
Gregory, reacting to the wolf staring at his face, says, "Get back, beast!" Very viciously. And
All right, so you're going to roll a
Wolf rolls.
okay, and he's rolling a what is it? Intelligence wisdom.
Plus 1 to whatever you roll, plus 1.
Me neither.
Well done.
So, wolf,
Alright.
you or somebody else?
So
The wolf intimidates you.
yeah, so the wolf rolled actually a natural 20 on its resistance to that. So if it saves, it doesn't do any damage at all. It just saves entirely, right? All right.
With that particular spell, yes.
So the wolf he sees this delicious looking snack in front of him, yelling at him, and it's just kind of and he goes towards you a bit more.
But now I'm done, right? Well, I can move if I want.
You can you would
would
provoke
provoke
opportunity
an
attack, and it would
Okay,
it would-
anyway.
with your 3 hit points.
No, I don't. I'm full because we slept.
You slept for like 3 minutes.
yeah.
Okay, so we didn't sleep.
Yeah,
I
no,
slept,
yeah,
that was not a long rest.
yeah, no, that wasn't a long rest.
6 hours of sleep and change.
Yeah.
All that.
So, do you want to move or do you want to just have that be your turn right there?
Again.
Yes.
I have a question.
Turn him
Yes.
around so he's actually
Clerics
facing.
doing?
Nothing, leaving us
You
to
can make a
die.
perception check.
Or they're powering up
That's
their
a great point.
They're doing the same thing that the sailors are doing, watching us do
What are
everything.
the clerics doing? I need healing.
As you're beginning to like stand up and like, or as you're lying on the ground and you're looking around you, you look over at the cleric's tent and you see that there is one of the flaps does kind of open out. And you see like a head peeking out. They kind of like just are now noticing everything that's happened. This has been like what 10 seconds so far.
Not even
So-
6.
Not even 6.
So yeah, they're just kind of realizing this.
Okay, fine.
They're coming a little late to the party.
And they're clerics.
Yeah. I mean,
They're probably not even useful kind of clerics.
I've been using monk and cleric interchangeably, but that's not because they're both.
Not the same thing.
They're
Monks are better.
Then there's monks.
All right, so back to the top of the initiative order is Idris.
Huzzah!
Woo-hoo!
I'm going to cast Sword Burst, so everything next to me must make a dexterity saving throw.
Let's just get the dead wolf out of there so we don't have to look at it anymore.
That's why it's tails up.
Yeah, just get it out of there. Thank you. So you're doing.
Sword burst.
Sword
So-
Burst, so 4 wolves need to make
4
dex
dex saves.
All right, he fails. That's probably a fail.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and what does it need to beat?
13.
Okay, they all fail. One critically fails.
Nice.
One's a natural 1. That wolf is just looking at you like.
Alright, so they all take 2 points of force damage as spectral blades sweep around me.
2 points?
Yep. 2 points of
All
force
right.
damage.
Speaking of which, the
Um,
spectacles.
Is it just which ones? Just these two here?
Every
these
time I say
4.
spectral blades,
These 4. All
I
right.
look across the screen and I'm like, spectacles. Wait. No.
All right.
Hunters cast spectacles.
You do that. Anything else?
Well, I mean, we do get truth.
I don't have a bonus action.
Okay. So is that it for you?
Yep, that's it for me.
All right.
Yeah, spectacle blades.
the four you hit take that hit and kind of, and they're now more angry and starting to get wary. They're nowhere near backing off at all, but they don't look happy and they're starting to look hungry.
Well, you can eat Stefan. I don't care about him.
Stefan,
get out here!
Stefan peeks his head out the window, or head out the telephone, and he rushes back inside. You start hearing him. Wake up! There's wolves, sir. Wake up!
Thank you, actually. That actually helped.
I guess.
Halon, it is now
Yes.
your turn.
What's your wife doing? Is she okay?
She's
The
fine.
horse is being engorged.
She'll be fine.
Which mean the horse is being engorged upon?
Yes.
The horse is not eating the wolves.
I don't know what kind of horse you ride.
Alright, so Halon, it's your turn. What do you want to do?
Why didn't you bust that out sooner?
I don't know if you have like one of Ares' horses. I don't know what gods you worship.
Bump it.
Because you are prey and our predator. It's just the way things are.
I am going to... What's your armor class, Brady?
13.
13?
Don't mind me, I'm just being a buzzsaw.
I'm going to...
Right, you're standing up now, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm not standing up. I have to
my
have
kids
my
kill me,
movement.
because then I would die.
Hang on, I'm trying to think.
Like, make a decision.
I should have an hourglass.
Who do I want to stand next to?
Me.
Stand by me.
Stand
We have the
by
best
your
armor
armor
class.
15.
15? Your armor class is 13.
Yeah.
My armor class is 19.
And don't stand next to him.
I can be
So
a
many reasons.
but I can be a 24 for one more round.
I am going to take the disengage action. And 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And stand next to...
Do you provoke opportunity attack
I take the
from?
disengage action.
Okay.
And...
Well, bullocks.
What the heck? No way.
Okay. And...
Why don't you give us a nice speech? I'm sure that's actually called it now.
Will you allow me to make a intimidation, or would you allow me to make an intimidation check to try and scare them away?
Let's see. You've used your action. Do you have a bonus action?
I do have a bonus action.
What's that?
Okay, that was the camera being a stinky poo poo.
Oh no.
I'm just gonna try. Yeah,
I do still have a bonus action, yes.
Instead of 5 bonus action, can I help?
Batter's underneath it.
We lost a camera.
We have currently we have Chauncey dealing with the camera at the moment. So you what?
I do in fact have a bonus action.
Okay, if you want to burn your bonus action, I'll allow you to attempt to intimidate them.
I'm going to attempt to intimidate all of them wolves.
Do
Whoops,
it.
that. Sure, we'll go with that.
What's that?
That would be a 22.
Woo.
Nice.
All right.
That is nice.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what this left type thing was, and then this camera went out. I was like, oh, cool.
What do you do to intimidate them?
He just points at me going,
I'm going to
just
make myself as large as possible
start banging your shield.
and just kind of yell menacingly.
All right.
Rawr.
And that was a what? 22. you said?
22.
All right.
Why are you standing next to me?
Because of my fighting style, that everyone now has disadvantage on attacks against you.
Wait, what?
Well, one person.
Well,
does
one
for
person.
one
You
attack.
use your reaction to enforce disadvantage on an attack.
Yes, that.
Yeah. All right.
That's true, one person, yes.
So
Save me from one.
it will. I'll have to fix it in a moment. So this guy's dead.
He's scared from the
I can
grave.
get this if you want.
All right, sure. So the one right in front of you scampers off, just runs away. It is quite scared. Its alpha is dead. It is nervous. It starts running away. I guess you would get a reaction on it. I guess.
Yeah. Well, unless it's disengaged. But
Yeah, if it is fleeing, so it's going to disengage and just run. There are going to be the three next to Chakal are going to. One of them runs away entirely.
That person.
One of them just runs away, so going to disengage and run away. One of them is backing up, but not fleeing yet. It's just backing up cautiously and will provoke an opportunity attack if you so choose to take it.
How many feet back is it moving?
It's moving back like 15 feet.
Okay.
Do you want to stab the wolf?
Me?
You.
That is not a question. Stab the wolf.
Yeah, no, I'm stabbing
You
the wolf.
do want
All
to
right.
stab the wolf.
Make an attack. All right. Roll damage from your. Use your
16?
longsword, correct?
Great
Yeah.
sword.
Great sword.
Sorry.
2d6.
All right.
Ooh, total 10?
Nope,
Plus.
that's not a total 10.
Sorry.
That is a total of 14.
14.
Thank you.
All right. It's dead.
Yay!
So you take your longsword with a and the wolf, and you cleave through actually its shoulder and it twists off and lies down and it's
Cool.
bleeding into the sand.
Is anybody hungry? I was thinking about breakfast.
The last one, seeing that other thing as well, is going to take the disengage action and bolt.
Okay.
Huzzah.
The three, there's two of them, three of them starting to sue, correct?
Technically.
Two of them are going to run. I believe the one closest to Idris would take an opportunity attack, correct?
All three of them would take opportunity attacks from her.
Oh yeah.
Any one of them.
She's not unconscious though. She's just prone.
I thought she dropped to 0.
Yes, and then she was
He
healing
healed.
worded.
He healed.
I'm in
Oh, she
heal.
got healed.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gregory.
So there, two of them are going to turn tail and run. So they would provoke opportunity attacks from, I believe, you and.
This one would not.
That one wouldn't.
Yes.
Okay.
I
I
will
don't
take
think
my
I get
opportunity.
opportunity
I
attack
will
from
not
that.
take my opportunity attack.
You
I
do not?
forgot.
You do.
All right.
Oh, I do? Okay.
I remembered things.
You can still stab someone if you're on your side.
Rolls over. Bah! You killed me.
So there's three of them that are just going away from you. I'd recommend hitting this one.
Oh wait, do I get to roll down?
Yeah.
Yes.
13 hit?
That hits.
15? Is that 13 hit?
13 should hit. Yeah.
Doesn't she have disadvantage because she's
Yes, it
prone?
hits.
I wasn't sure. Is that? I know it's on
Doesn't she have
ranged attacks, so you have
disadvantage because she's prone?
I mean, because she's prone.
Because she's
and
prone
attacking.
and an attack roll while you're prone.
I know for range for sure you have disadvantage. Just don't remember if it's for melee too. I assume it is.
I think
Roll
it is.
again.
Roll a disadvantage. If we're wrong later on.
That would be a
8?
8. 8 does not hit.
8 does not hit.
Dang it.
You wave your sword wildly and hope that it scares it.
Alright. So
Leave
there's
me
3 left on the
alone.
field.
There are 3 left on the field.
Sweet.
All right. So there. Hang on. There was still one that was going to be near. There was just 2 of them ran away. So there's like the one at our feet. And then the 2 on the far side of Yggdrasil bolt. Leaving one lonely wolf.
Still not
It's
using
my
my
turn.
There's
reaction.
currently 2.
2?
2 of them.
Yes,
There's still one
there's
right
one
here.
on the far side.
Oh, I didn't see that. There was a copper dude in the way. Yeah, he runs too. They all failed their checks except for one with a natural 20.
Of course. Seems to be how things work.
So let's see. Halen just went. It is now, in fact, Sue's turn.
Yes!
Yay!
Okay, I'm going to use my movement,
Half your movement.
half of it to stand up.
Does he
so
get an
I'm not
opportunity
rolling.
while she's standing up, or no?
No.
Okay.
Now I'm not prone.
Cool.
And I'm going to attack it with my rapier.
All right.
That's a total 20 to hit.
It hits.
Advantage.
Oh yeah, advantage.
Well,
We're
does-
flanking it.
You might get a crit. Never mind. Exactly the same.
Get a what?
All
You
right.
might get a critical.
Okay,
Or a d6 plus a d8.
12.
Plus 4, that kills it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's dead.
16.
So you take the thorned rose and you just shink
I used
through
to
its open
make
mouth as it's
Give me the d4.
you're
Oh, yeah, great
you just
Grace, we're using
stab
that
it right
for
through its mouth. The
yeah.
moment as you do that, your sailors, along with Stefan, burst out armed with whatever they have. There's a spare oar that wasn't used that someone's holding as a club.
Frank.
Yes, Frank is using that one.
Oops, sorry.
Not me.
You know why they remind me of Jason? Because they're lakes.
Dimitri is standing in a
they're
boxing
alive.
position
Unlike Jason.
behind Henry, and Henry is
no.
charging out there, holding a piece of driftwood, yelling. "Rah!" And Stefan is like rushing out there like he's about to punch anything to death. Meanwhile, at the same time, from the other tents, the clerics come out, and you see that several of them have some small weapons. One has a mace at his side, and they rush out there as well. Well, they don't. You wouldn't call it rushed, but they definitely appear rushed, and some of them are breathing heavily.
They're clerics.
Does anybody want to make a perception check on them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that was not good. That was an 8.
Okay.
14.
Nat 20.
21.
Nat 20 on perception check.
So you
see
look at these guys
everything.
and you see that okay, they're a little late to the party, but hey, you
Everything
know
we
what?
want to.
They tried. You're a little more distracted by your sailors
See the
and
pictures.
rushing around to try to see if there's anything left, and they begin making a perimeter
Yeah.
and looking around at anything else.
Good job, guys.
Meanwhile,
High fives all around.
yeah.
I'm going to end my
you
blade
actually
song, and I'm
listen to
going to
the
go
word.
back to sleep.
You actually notice that the man who spoken you to before, with the streaks of white in his beard, looks to be about in his 60s actually.
Okay.
And one of the
Oh,
other
he's
clerics
young.
is actually older than he is,
He's in
along with another cleric who is who's probably a half elf or something. His age is a little harder to tell, but they definitely seem to be a bit older.
Okay.
But he's half elf, so you must hate him.
Yeah.
Only half.
Like you hate yourself.
Fair enough.
That's her secret. She's always half angry.
So all these wolves have run off.
Good job.
Nice.
Frank walks up to you and says,
Walks into
"We're doing." Walk to Captain Sue.
Me. Not you.
We're doing pretty fine. If you want, Dimitri and I can take watch, and Henry can take a second watch. You guys can get some rest.
Is Stefan proficient in martial weapons?
Stefan? Yeah.
Stephen's an idiot.
Okay. I am going to walk up to Stefan, seeing that he's using only his fists. I'm going to take the halberd, put on my back, unwrap the light blue,
And cut him where he stands.
unwrap the light blue cloth from the blade,
Okay.
and hand the halberd over to him and say,
Oh.
I think that in the days to come, you will need something to protect yourself with.
Just give
If
the
I may
prisoner a
interject
weapon.
here, we did capture him, and you are arming our prisoner.
He's not a prisoner, he's a friend.
I'm
He is
about
a
to say,
pirate.
He is not our friend.
And he should be...
She's a pirate too.
I am not.
She's a merchant captain?
I am very not. I am very, very not. You could roll for deception.
Insight.
Insight, whatever.
She's Erica Flynn.
I'm not lying.
Insight, 21.
She's telling the truth. She is certainly not a pirate, and is oddly. She seems to be pretty easygoing about many things.
How about we flip a
But
coin?
this hit a nerve with her.
How about this? We flip a coin. Heads, we don't give him the weapon. Tails, you do. Just leave it up to fate.
What if
Does that sound fair?
I don't leave things up to fate.
You leave things up to your god all the time. That's basically the same thing.
Except that way, at least someone cares about me.
Well, if your god cares, then he'd flip it to whatever thing is supposed to happen, wouldn't he? Or she? I don't know. They?
So you hand it to him.
I'm doing him a favor by not just chaining him up at the moment.
Stefan looks at the three of you, kind of arguing over him. Gregory, what are you doing at the moment?
Watching.
Okay, you're just watching, and you're just watching with this big old grin on his. He's looking at the four of you now. As Shakal walks back off to the tent, takes it, holds
Wait,
on
what?
to it.
Chakal did something?
Yeah, you went back to sleep.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah, you went back to sleep. That's what you did. Yes, you did.
What you did.
Anyway,
I was
So he
sorry.
takes the halberd with this look of like, huh, and a slight bit of relief in his eyes, and seeing that you seem distrustful of more or less everybody. He gives you a look, and he sees that your distrust of him doesn't appear to be personally against him, but against pirates.
I'm not personally distrustful of him. I just don't trust
pirate
him.
problem.
He's a pirate.
So he takes a look at you.
It just seems logical.
And he takes the remnants of the this red raven insignia that he has on him and his arm guards, and he takes both of those off and he hands them to you and says, "Look, I get something happened. Do with these what you want. This isn't going to be me anymore."
Take them and chuck them in the fire.
All right. He looks at that with a bit of like a nervous because that was formerly armor that's currently being burnt, but a bit of relief that there is no tie to them anymore, more or less. And he walks up to Frank,
We at least
says
sent him
something,
to, like,
and then he begins
5
standing guard.
years community service or something.
I think 3 weeks adventuring with us is
What
about
are you
the
looking
same
at me
thing.
like that for?
It's called character development. You wouldn't
Can
understand.
we use him as a trap detector?
Frank is going to stand near Stefan, but at a distance, watching another area.
Make it sound so
I'm okay with that. I want to go back to sleep
Oh,
now.
it
I'm
is.
tired.
All right,
It is-
everyone goes
This
to
is very
sleep.
important.
I walk up to
Yes,
Stefan
I
and
will
slap
go
him
back.
in the back and say, "Good show, sir."
As you do that, he has a quick moment where he just like drops the halberd and grabs it again. Thank you, strange man.
He's not racist.
And
The
he
more, you
racist.
can, the more you can say for some of the other people we have that we do trust.
Some people.
I never said I trusted them.
So do you guys go back to sleep?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm tired.
All right.
Long rest.
Long rest, please.
Long rest. All
Long
right.
rest.
Hallelujah!
All right.
Which I.
The horse keeps watch. We go to sleep.
Yeah. So you are woken rather early in the morning. You have had your full long rest. You are now up to your max hit points of your level
Max
2.
hit points. Max spell slots.
I have been up for a long time.
You've been up for a while. Is there anything you want to do while you were awake?
Wait, so we.
This
Sufficient.
Okay.
privately.
Technically, we were.
So wait.
Yes,
So all of you.
I'm not reading it aloud.
Okay. I just want to see your. I just want to see.
Wait, where did he get it?
He has nothing.
I have backstory.
Don't touch me. I'm married.
Okay, so Idris does that and reacts however it is that he reacts. Anything else you want us to do?
I'm just watching everybody sleep.
Okay.
That's not
Anyone in
my
particular?
point. No, I'm just kind of watching over the camp. Just
Okay.
kind of bored.
Stefan sees that you're the first one up, and not so subtly, it's kind of keeping an eye your direction every once in a while.
What are you looking at?
Well, one seems to have a reason not to trust me. One of them just doesn't seem to care. I'm not sure one of them is aware of what I've been doing for the past year. It's just, I've learned that I should watch my back in the past few years, and it seems that if anyone's gonna slip a dagger in there, it would be you. And I just thought I should at least see it coming.
I'm insulted. Why on earth would I kill you? It doesn't do me any good unless you have money on you.
I have no money at all. He turns out his pockets. There's nothing.
See, it doesn't do me any good to kill you.
Oh.
Because it's not getting XP.
Really, just stick with the paladin. I'm sure you'll be fine until we get somewhere more civilized. Then we can part ways, and we'll all be happy.
That makes sense. All right. And he doesn't drop his attention on you, but he lessens it, and he walks off a bit more, keeping guard. Anything else happen, or does everyone else just wake up?
I'm just waking up.
All right, so the
Thinking
cleric,
about breakfast.
yeah, so the clerics actually come out, and One of like stepping over the body of one of the wolves. Okay.
I'm actually thinking about the wolves and breakfast.
All right, and
thinking about wolves for
wake several of you up
Yeah,
as well.
I'm considering it. Also making a new coat.
All right. So would you like to try to skin the wolves?
Yeah, I would. You can make a really cool cape. What am I rolling for?
I was going to make a comment about how that's so barbaric, but I realized, hey.
Let's see. That'd either be a nature or survival check to skin.
Yes.
It's the same either way.
Yeah, 14.
14.
14 to do that.
All right. So you take about a good. It's not a very large wolf. So you take about 20 minutes. With. Do you have a dagger?
She has her hand axe.
Yeah, I have.
Like the Vikings of our ancestors. Like our ancestors, the Vikings.
Can I take the
Use
head
of
off
our
of
ancestors.
Can I take the head off a javelin and use that?
It's a stabby piercing, not a slicey. But you do take. You have a finely honed small hand axe that you split it open and start taking off.
Is there
And there's
another wolf nearby that I could also use?
there are 2 dead wolves.
Okay, I would like to skin both of them.
Three died?
Yeah.
Okay, there are 3 dead wolves.
I like
Also,
to skin all 3 of
I can
them.
note that 2/5 of our party have costumes.
Yeah.
We're actually working on
That's
some
not
things
all
for
the
Gregory.
In costume.
Actually,
Well,
hands in
I was
costume.
talking about in their inventories. The characters
Oh.
have costumes in their inventory.
Okay.
Because we don't wear regular people clothes.
Who needs a costume?
I
We
have vestments.
one change of clothes.
Anywho's it. So y'all
Not sure if that's inside or outside my chainmail.
Let's get that.
9.
It's in your backpack.
Alright,
Yeah.
so I would like to skin all 3 wolves.
So you skin the first one, and it's a pretty good. There's some areas that are thinner than others, and there's a couple of small holes in it. But you do get most of a relatively small wolf-sized pelt. If you'd like to roll for the other 2.
Should certainly hope it's wolf-sized.
15
It's cat-sized.
An elephant-sized wolf
Is
pelt.
that
and
total?
20.
Natural 20?
Nat 20.
Nice. So on the second one, like the first one, you have a fairly good job of doing it. And by this point, you have an idea of how to skin them with a hand axe, and you do a very good job. You actually get all of the skin that you can. It's in good condition. So mark down 2 pristine wolf skins and 1 decent wolf skin.
You should make the wolf head helmet.
Sorry.
It has the fangs of the eyes.
So it's 2 decent and 1 pristine. Anything else you'd like to do?
I'd like to, whatever you do, cure them or whatever, so I can make them into a,
Jerky or something?
I want to make the wolf pelts into a cape.
Oh, okay.
You need to turn that pristine head into the cowls that has the fangs over it.
That's kind of cool. I don't know.
You know, there's people you can actually hire to do this for you.
It's barbarian.
I ignore that comment.
I'm going to
make a just roll a d20.
Nat
20.
All right. You begin tanning the hides. You can't do the whole process here, but you get the process started with some things from your kit,
So I can get it
so you can.
to somewhere and finish it.
Right, you can get it to somewhere in there. Basically, you're preventing it from rotting. You're stripping off any bits of flesh there are there.
Where did you get a disguise kit from?
We're proficient in disguise kits. We don't actually have them
Oh, right.
because we're entertainers.
Right.
So she cleans off
We do
the
it
skins,
in a way better way.
and you get everything is more or less
got a nice
ready
white
to
finish.
be properly tanned or kept as the hide, however you need it.
Yeah, okay. I'm thinking I want to keep the fur on because
Alright.
then that's going to be warmer.
All right.
Good.
Where are you putting these? Just kind of in your pack, hanging out there.
Yeah, I'm going to fold them up the best I can, stick them in my explorer's pack. Best that works.
All right.
What's your other half?
None of your business. Go away.
She hasn't found her other half yet.
When she does, I can cast ceremony. I need that on a shirt. I can cast ceremony.
You know, actually, I have the character art for the characters, and I want to actually do like T-shirts. So far, the saying I think I would do for Gregory's is throw the goat,
Throw the goat.
because there's your solution so far to almost everything last session was throw the goat at it. But I just want to see if that becomes a trend or if that's just the one day thing.
Okay, if I ever get engaged, I'm taking engagement pictures with you pretending to officiate and send it only to like the people who get the joke.
Yes.
All right.
So like a T-shirt that says I can cast ceremony.
I'll.
Anyway.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Anyway.
So I'm going to wake up, come out here, and see her dealing with these wolves, and say, "Are you doing this just for show, or are you planning on taking the meat from the wolves as well?"
No, we're gonna dress up as wolves and scare James.
No.
I was
Are you
actually
awake yet?
thinking this would also make a good
I
breakfast.
don't know yet.
So.
The monks start coming. The clerics come
Do you
around
wanna
and they
help
start
me
waking your
butcher
tent.
these?
I think I'm good, considering all I have is a quarterstaff.
We can roast it with that.
Stefan
I'm just gonna pull out
walks
my
up.
lyre and just absently mindedly start plucking away at it.
Roll performance.
No, that is a 6.
Oh.
You just
I
kind of
didn't say I was playing anything. I'm just
you
absently
just
plucking at it.
take your lyre, just begin plucking at it.
Ben, do you want me to go get the harp?
Liar!
Hi. It's make believe. I don't need props.
But we have one right there.
So you can just absentmindedly plunking at it.
Yes.
While
what I wanted
Stefan
to do.
sees that you're up and walks up and he hears that you're talking about that and he's like, "Oh well, we do have this." He starts handing the was it the glaive?
Halberd.
The halberd. Back over like we do have this if you want to.
I think that might be I think that might be a bit too big for this job.
Okay.
That's all I've got. It's a lap harp.
So he begins strumming on on the lyre, absentmindedly. So Stefan's standing there now with a halberd. Frank comes up to you and begins reporting what happened the previous night.
Besides the wolves.
Yeah. So after the wolves, he said that they left, but a few of them came back around just to take a look. We scared them off, no problem. You know, just between you and me, I think if it weren't for that angry half elf, just attacking them again, I think they would have left.
I will keep that information.
I just, I think she means well, but
I don't think that.
she has an anger about her.
She's kind of like a bowling ball and just goes, wah.
Yeah.
What bowling alleys do you do? Motorized bowling balls.
All I'm
It's
saying,
when you get the power up.
Yeah.
all I'm saying is that in light of our recent setbacks, if you're looking for conversation, maybe speak to the other one over there, and he gestures towards Tessa.
I remember this now. I know what's going on. Okay.
And he's like,
You kind of can't, but okay.
Oh, but I will.
Zelda.
he sits there, stands in front of him and awkwardly like pats her shoulder and leaves. You can tell that he's dealing with the recent situation in his own way and trying to be helpful.
I am grateful for his help. So where's Tessa? Is she up yet?
Yeah, she's wherever I am. She's probably fairly close by.
She's making sure the horse is all comfortable and stuff.
Right. I go over to Tessa and I do something. I don't know what.
We start dancing.
Well, she
No.
understands you. You just don't understand her back.
This is true.
Oh, I have no musical capabilities, so.
You could pass notes back and forth because she
Mhm.
does write common.
She writes common, but I
Mhm.
don't know that yet.
Yes, you don't know that.
I'm going to attempt to try talking to her, even though I know that
All
she
right,
doesn't.
say something.
I'm good.
Hello.
She looks up from what she's doing and smiles at you and says some words that seem to be gibberish.
What language is she speaking in?
She's currently speaking in Celestial.
Okay, but they sound really, really nice.
It sounds really pretty.
Yeah, Yep, that's nice.
It's pretty
Um,
celestial.
Seeing, hang on.
Just like change.
Noticing that you look a little confused, she gives you a quizzical look and she points at your satchel.
This.
Yeah.
So then
It's with your letters and stuff.
This.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah,
I
that one.
hold it out to her.
And she nods at it and she opens it and she takes out a letter with a green seal of a tree. And the seal is still intact. She just gives you a look of.
This one. What?
Kind of shrugs and gets back to her work.
I kicked it back.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
Well, are we going to go somewhere? Or are we just gonna kind of sit around here?
We're just trying to decide who's gonna help me butcher these wolves so we can have
Get
breakfast.
Jims to do it.
Jim's crawls out of the lean-to, rubbing his
You have
eye.
rations.
I don't know.
Can we
Oi,
have...
Jims, get over here and help the half-elf butcher some
Hey,
wolves.
hey, who's ordering my crew around?
Not me. I was going to ask you if you could order your crew around so that we could, butcher and dry and eat these wolves.
good
and save
for
them
us.
Jim's
later.
is holding this dagger almost like a teddy bear at the moment. Like
Probably not Jim's.
Definitely Jims.
I grew
I
up
believe in exposure therapy.
I grew up on a farm. I used to butcher cows with my dad and my mom before.
Yet you were
Perfect.
afraid of a horse.
Can
No. Dimitri.
Okay, Dimitri, be useful for once.
The half elf walks up.
I'm gonna go reorganize
Yes, ma'am.
my explorer pack.
Why are you not letting the dude who lived on a farm do the butchering?
He's all.
Freaked out.
He's gonna cut himself. I just know it.
No, it's Seth who has terrible luck.
Okay, so
Jim's
Dimitri walks
family
up.
just died. And he's afraid of the ocean. He's not.
He's also afraid of horses.
No, it's just that Halon's horse is temperamental.
And it's a lot bigger than he is.
He's a halfling. He's a young
These
halfling.
wolves are dead. They're okay.
Meanwhile, Gregory's gonna pull out his pen pick and join his
All right, roll performance.
I don't have one of those, unfortunately.
10.
Oh, I had the kazoo. I forgot.
I'm going to start singing along in Celestial.
Not on me.
All right.
10.
10.
Aww.
Well, if we're actually going to play, I'm going to actually try and play along. So
10.
just my action.
10. And you were
10.
also 10.
14.
The two of you begin a somewhat average, a little out of tune, improvised song. You're a little off key from him, and he's just kind of like, oh, okay, this is fun. And you begin seeing that, oh, they're actually playing it here. You start putting a little flair in just to show off a little bit.
Nice.
Jim's is actually going to take the dagger and walk up to the wolves.
Oh, you can put it
And,
over there. Take the pick with it.
All right.
That was awfully violent.
You get about
At least you didn't say we should eat them.
That comes later.
you get about 10 pounds of usable meat.
Woo. That's it?
From each
Okay.
of them. That's 30 pounds of usable meat.
That's a lot of meat.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
These are pretty scrawny wolves.
It-
If you drive, it'll be less.
yeah, it's currently still bloody and
Yeah.
Oh, presumably wise men, why are you here? You said something about us being prophesied or something.
Also, what book were you talking about?
Also, can we get some more wood on this fire? Not Dimitri.
I actually assumed you would know what the book they were talking about.
Can I make a history check?
I don't know.
make a religion check.
Ooh, a religion
They're
check.
actually looking, every
It's
time you
the
mention
good
the book,
book.
they're looking nervous.
It's the good book, isn't it?
That would be a 12.
All right.
What?
You have some vague recollection of the
I don't think I know anything.
It's like Revelation.
the
Wait, what did
clerics
you get
of
for your
lore.
religion check?
13.
Oh, I got a.
That's the right word.
Okay.
Should I also roll?
The patron of
Lore.
Hey, whoa, what just happened? Okay, we're good.
Okay.
The land of lore.
He's the patron of knowledge, but specifically history and storytelling, and probably either in some book of prophecies or maybe perhaps a magic book itself, or maybe someone's writing a book and it's unclear whether or not they're referring to anything very fancy or specific.
Okay.
actually the one with the dark skin and the white beard says, walks up to you and says, I'd actually appreciate it if we don't mention that object much in open.
Of course. My apologies.
You don't understand the situation, and we'd be happy to explain it to you. It's going to be a while of a journey to get to our to our priory. We can get you outfitted there with some supplies, and then tell you what it is we would request of you.
Of course. Lead the way.
All right. Do you wish to give maps out to anyone, or?
No.
Okay. So there's. So there is an. Actually, can I see one of those real quick? Can I see one of those real quick? Because I marked something on that one that I didn't mark on here.
I don't know where we landed, so that doesn't help.
Everywhere.
We were on the coast.
No, I thought we'd landed in the
X marks the spot.
Ooh.
The map changes as you look.
Stefan, you know about this sort of thing.
Is that where we landed, Ben?
Yes, that's where you landed and made camp. If you wish to note that that's where the your first camp is, feel free to do so. You don't have to.
These are booby trapped. Just lame.
He looks at you. If there's any supplies
The
that
other
you
five are
need,
empty.
grab it now.
But wait,
We're
there's
about to
still
head
5
out.
exits. I forgot to mark
Are we
the other.
walking?
Walking. There is one horse that they brought with them as well.
And my wife is going to be riding the horse. Well, our horse, anyway.
It's fine. I'm just worried about my crew that was kind of up all night.
They slept like the rest of us.
They took shifts.
They slept like the rest of you. Let me rephrase that.
They took shifts. So yeah.
That's worried now.
Yeah. So they you begin.
Perfectly fine.
Is there anything else you want to grab? So you have the wolf meat.
It's perfectly fine as mortals can be.
Which James actually packs up in some in one of the bags that he actually has, which is currently getting rather bloody, but he doesn't seem to mind. There was nothing else in there.
Alright. As long as we're good.
Is there anything else you guys want to grab or check around the beach?
We didn't cook any meat at all.
No, there were some rations that you could have eaten unless you want to spend the time to cook the meat.
Well, I was just thinking it's easier to transport cooked meat than raw meat. Just thinking. And we have a fire happening right now, and it should be down to some really good coals. So.
Do you want to spend the time to cook meat?
Try to take the fire with you.
I think we should just cook the meat now and not have
I
rotting
think 3
meat in
of us
our
can light
hands and
fires. Actually, I think everybody here can light a fire, except for maybe Stefan.
Yeah.
The clerics
Probably
are
not
going to
Jim's
take a
either.
look at you guys real quick, and he's going to take a nervous look around and says, all right, but I'm warning you, the longer we spend out in the open, the more time we could have unwelcome eyes on our presence.
Good point. We will cook the meat halfway and keep going.
I think we should just get going.
We should probably.
We have,
just
rations.
Okay.
We have rations we can eat.
Okay.
All right, so you guys begin making your way off. All right.
Yes.
Um,
And my things.
so for
Which direction are we heading?
heading to the
Is
west.
anybody a folk hero?
No.
Gladiators are basically folk heroes.
Well, you don't get the pan though, or the pot.
No, but
No.
we get.
You could put some fire in the pot and then we'll cook the meat individually.
We do get a mess kit though. Everybody with the explorers pack gets a mess kit.
That's true.
I don't think we'd be able to carry the fire with us. so
4
we can
to from where you start. 4 to the left.
Can I have a map? I like maps, and I'm trustworthy.
You have to ask Sue.
Okay.
Does the player give another player a map so the player knows what's going on? Since there's multiple maps, there's only supposed to be like the one.
There are several maps. There are 2 actual maps that survive the fire. There is presumably a 3rd map there, but it's like it doesn't feel so good, Mr. Stark. Okay. Anyway, so
I'm going to go to Sue. I don't suppose you'd happen to have any idea where we're going. You being a seafaring personnel, would you happen to know any local area?
Remember, he accused you of being a pirate earlier.
Do I? I'm gonna roll history.
Literally have a map.
You're asking if we know if there's a town
I'm just asking. Do you have a map on you?
Yes.
Where did you get that?
I have them.
It was from the hold of the ship. It was from, you had a collection of old sea charts and maps.
I have a lot of maps. Sailing around.
Do you have more than one map of the area?
Yeah.
Might I be able to borrow one?
Can you even read a map?
Sure. You can have this one.
Thank you.
Alright, so X marks where the spot where you started. Not including that mark, 4 to the left is where you are right now.
4 to the left.
Yes.
1, 2, 3,
Each grid is a mile. Roughly-ish. So you walk, 4 miles into the west. Your wife is on the horse.
You still wasn't alone thinking that.
Is Jim's gonna be on the horse with Tessa, or is he walking with you?
He can walk.
He'll probably be walking with me.
Okay, so he's walking.
I will be near Tessa though. I'm going to continue trying to talk to her, or just pointing at something and saying what it is in common.
Mm-hmm.
Going to fill my empty inventory slots for the map now.
Yay.
Not.
So everything's more or less fine. You see that the eldest of the clerics is on their horse, and you see that there are some large saddlebags. And you see that there's large saddlebags on the horse, and he's taking the front.
Seeing as how that we've all shared camp, would you be so kind as to tell me your names, since you know us, obviously? I'd like to know who I'm bedding down with.
So far, the only one who's been speaking to you so far turns to you and says, "Notes."
He looks to you and says, "Notes."
Alright, Notes, the monk.
Yeah.
Brother Notes.
Brother Notes is on the horse.
Brother Side Notes. Brother Footnotes.
It's Brother
and Brother
Notes.
Endnotes.
Brother Notes is on the horse.
Notes.
Actually, no. Brother Notes is walking behind the horse, and his father Spark is on top of the horse. And I am Brother Onvard.
Brother
I am a cleric of lore.
No kidding.
I presume.
Well, then shall we continue on, Vard?
No.
Hey, so Travis is yelling at Grady through the chat.
Yeah.
To check your phone.
We got it.
Okay.
What did you do?
They wanted the password for everything.
Anyway,
Also gonna play a game.
Brother.
Oh, okay.
I'm Brother Onvard. I am of the Clerics of Lore. And are you familiar with the Clerics of Lore?
More or less.
This is me, Micah. I believe I do.
Okay.
Because I rolled before. And
Right.
I certain I did.
Yes.
Yes.
You are familiar.
I believe I'm
Sure.
familiar too.
You are familiar that the religious order exists.
That's about mine.
A little bit more. You know that in some areas we are held in high esteem, and in other areas we're considered to be doomsayers, bearers of bad news.
Yeah. Cool.
The
I think
truth.
Some of the patrons in the arena used to go to you lot before they make their bets.
Oftentimes, in a misguided manner, we do oftentimes keep an eye on potential rising heroes in the arenas. You see, we look at the world as if it's one massive story being told, with every person's lives just beginning in one chapter and ending in another. And we take it upon ourselves to write down the history of the world. So if we ever see a great changing in the story of the world, we send people there to write it down firsthand. The rising of a hero, a nation crumbling, these are matters that are worthy of our attention.
So you're war reporters.
In a way, you could say, but also natural events, anything that could change a culture, we focus on.
So you're more big picture.
Yes. Our individual local chapters try to keep an eye on the particular areas of that district or region, but overall, we're very general. We also do our best to train both clerics who are focusing on learning of knowledge, bards learning their craft to tell stories of old. Anyone seeking history or a good story is welcome at our libraries.
Fascinating.
Go to you next time you get a trinket.
So are you just like Is everybody just like sort of a vow of silence right now, and you're just sort of their spokesman, or are you just sort of chatty and they're not?
They prefer to observe and neither give you advice nor hinder you in your progress. They wish merely to see what is you do and to not interfere. They also take that to mean in the very literal sense not to give you any advice or aid whatsoever. I take it in a more open view because if the players don't know a story is happening, how can it move on?
So you're the helpful one.
He's the narrator.
Of sorts.
Lily Snicket narrator.
Ah.
You move another 3 to the left
You're beating
during
us.
this time.
Oh, 3 to the
Better.
You must speak really slowly if we moved 3 miles in that time.
Nothing much of interest happens. Jakal, do you want to do anything during this walk?
I've
said-
been
you said 3 to the
retying my
left
arm
then?
guards the
Yeah,
entire
seven
time,
to
sort of
left.
fidgeting and half listening.
All right. Gregory, is there anything that you want to do during this walk?
I'm gazing at the scenery.
All right, you're taking in all the views. Make a perception check.
11.
So do we like owe you
So the
a
sky is
boat
very
or,
blue
like,
right now.
money for a
Trees are
passage
green.
or
It's
something?
pretty.
Or was it
Oh
just
yeah, do we owe you money?
or is this like it's free because the boat crashed?
I am sure we will be giving her some form of compensation at some point.
Or do we have to pay for the boat? Because I'm not sure I can afford that.
I feel like we're even considering, you know, we rescued you from pirates and also the Kraken situation.
It would have been under control. I'm sure we would have managed.
It looked like it.
So at near the front of the line, you hear Anvard laughing a bit, and he turns to
Loving
you.
you about the
He
whole
backs,
Kraken.
stops walking so much, and gets to you and says, "Yes. See, one of the reasons we didn't know exactly what to look for is you're not the first group of adventurers that we have found. That Kraken has been causing some trouble, and
Someone
it's
else even
only
was
appeared
first.
recently. Usually something that large we could track for a good ways, but it's as if one day it just appeared in these waters, causing storms to wreck any ships coming in or out of Folklore.
So now we have to go destroy the darn thing?
For the time being, you are stuck on this island until you can either try to negotiate with one of the few remaining boats we have here, wait for the Kraken to be dealt with until ships can come back, if they even know they can come back, or make a new one.
Like a new Kraken.
Boat.
I like my idea better.
I, for one, would much prefer not to be torn in two almost another time.
I don't think there would be another time because I think he would be torn in two.
He starts giving you guys a curious glance.
I start playing with my arm guards again and trying to ignore this whole thing.
There was a bit of an accident during the shipwrecking.
There used to be more of us. And now there's not.
He,
I'm talking about the cow.
Jason was not a cow.
We had a cow!
Yeah, we did have one.
We did have a
Then
cow.
he jumped overboard.
he's...
You know what? You owe me a cow now.
I didn't kill the cow. It was in the boat with, I
And
think,
now you owe
Dimitri
me
and
the
Frank.
cow.
Besides, I don't think we can just buy people around here.
He's looking very confused now, and
I'm
from
sorry,
what he
we
can
can buy
understand, Captain Sue is very upset about the loss of a cow.
Named Jason.
I don't think his name showed up yet, so he's just like,
She said Jason's not a cow.
oh, okay.
I said Jason's
Yeah.
not a cow.
He's
I'm not the one who
very
tried
confused
to
right
kill
now.
Jason the first time.
I
That was her.
wasn't trying to kill him. I just had a panic attack.
I would
It was a
recommend
moment,
that you
okay?
don't pay too close attention to us. We're all a little bit
High strung.
not all here at the moment.
Depressed.
I understand you lost some of your original group.
Not their group. My group. My first mate.
I see. Well, I'm very sorry to hear of that. But it seems to be it seems to be a common theme in these parts. Follow me.
I'm sure as a cleric of lore, you would know all about themes, now wouldn't you?
Every story starts with some type of loss. What were you waiting for?
I didn't know if you meant like follow me as in like goes off the path. And
No.
or we just keep going west.
No, you turn south actually. And 1, 2, 3 down there.
I assume north is up?
Yes.
Okay.
And you find yourself at Comheg's Priory. Good luck trying to spell that because it's Gaelic.
Not going to.
You
Just
took
gonna
3
write down Priory.
Priory.
I actually don't know how to spell Priory. Look at the
Oh
bottom.
dear, Chalky's gonna.
Look at the Y or an I.
Can you hit this one for me?
I.
We have a place.
Like Will Crier.
I meant at the end.
E.
Oh, what, why at the end?
Y, okay. Let's write this up. It seems so Italian.
Can you move it a bit more to the left?
Monks gather.
Thank you.
Like a cloister.
Just sounding.
So you come to Comheg's Priory, which is this large white stone, perhaps marble or granite construction. It has in the entryway in the ground a golden lyre surrounded by a laurel wreath with a balanced skull at the very bottom. As you can tell, it's the same image that's embroidered in their robes as well.
Wow. Cool. This
Um,
must be where they come from.
Come on.
This must be their spawn point.
My friends, welcome to Comheg's Priory.
Thank you.
Wonderful
Is
place you've got here.
Do
Thank
you
you.
happen to have a place
Mount.
that I could like tan or
There's the roof.
cure?
We left the beach already.
We do, in fact.
Cure
If you would like to
some
follow,
skins?
if you would like to follow me, so all of you enter the front area, which is right here. Y'all enter.
Where's Mini Me?
Ooh,
Ben, you
No,
told me
we're
to
on
me.
Mini
Sorry,
Me.
me too.
Thanks.
Chikal, if you would like to just directly do that and
Oh, wow.
ignore the tour, he can send
Yeah.
he can send someone there to show you where to go. If you would like to just skip any type of tour and just go directly there to hand your leather.
Yeah, I'd like to just skip the tour and just go. I'll ask Sue out later.
Wait, this is a tour.
He waves his hand, and another young monk folk takes you
Oh, that is my race.
over here and into this little garden area right over here.
Do my tanning and whatnot.
Yes. Go ahead and roll another nature survival, since it's all the same for you.
Okay. 10.
All right. You take some time scraping away whatever's left and begin the tanning process. You don't seem to quite have it ready yet. It's going to take a while, but you have kept it so it's not in any danger of rotting right now.
Okay, I'm just taking my time.
Meanwhile, Brother Anvard looks at the rest of you. Now, I would like to speak to you of why I've brought you here.
That would be nice, yes.
If you would like to continue your lives on this island without any obligations, feel free to leave now.
I didn't know.
What I'm going to tell you is a bit of a secret. Can I trust you?
This is all the same day since we woke up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you've gone like 12 miles.
Okay.
So, yeah.
But Stefan you cannot trust.
Stefan's standing there with a halberd.
You can trust Stefan, don't worry.
You know, if my being here is gonna cause tension,
Yes.
I can find another area. I'll go to a library and study up. I can.
Become a better human.
Uh,
Right there.
I'll
Stefan?
try.
How about he pays for your boat?
Stefan?
No.
I feel like he was partially responsible.
Listen to them. Do whatever it is you want to do.
Let's not go that
I
far.
think.
Don't let them determine what you do with your life.
I think, for the good of the group right now, I would like to learn a bit more. I'm not sure if this island has some people who may know me, and my presence among you.
Stephanie talking?
Yes.
Okay, because you kind of sound like the monk dude.
Yeah, sorry. And my presence among is better. And my presence amongst you may bring unwanted attention. I think I'll stay here, and if you want me, you know where you can find me.
If that is what you wish.
Anvard sees this, and he waves another monk cleric guy over, and they begin to talk as Stefan and this cleric wander off into one of the other halls.
Watch it, he's gonna come back as boss.
Or a playable character.
Your mom.
Whoa!
She's dead. Anyway,
That's true.
Yeah.
It comes to
Are
that
all
really-
our moms dead?
probably. I mean,
Hey.
Who still has parents that are still alive?
yeah.
I'm probably still alive.
Mine are probably straight.
Well, good for you two.
I just don't talk. I don't
I don't
know.
want to talk about it.
All right. So
I just don't talk to them.
he looks at you and says, "Well,
You
if
said it on purpose, didn't you?
Yeah.
several of your sailors as well are taken off by one of the other clerics to find rooms to stay in for a while and get settled in for a moment.
Gotta get influence.
This is where we were concerned when we saw that there were so many of you. Many can keep a secret with great difficulty.
Well, we can weed out the
I'm
NPCs.
sure that you find your crew to be trustworthy fellows, but I feel the less people that know of this would be for the best.
I understand.
Follow me.
You fire your own spot, man.
So he takes you through. Now, is there any questions as to who we are before we begin talking about why you're here?
None.
Are you anything more than simply clerics of lore?
Yeah, I think we have like a 2 years information.
Specifically, no, but this location is quite special. You see, this is the island of Folklore. This is the island where Lore first gave us many of our gifts that we have used throughout the years. And recently, one of the important things that has been entrusted to us from Lore himself has been stolen. Currently, we suspect there's not been much of a problem. It has many of its
Yes,
own
we found the
protections
blocks.
within the item itself. However, the longer that it is not in our hands, the more potential for evil to come of it.
I assume this would be the book that you speak of?
That would be the book I spoke of.
I like books.
Follow me. And he takes you into a storage room right over here.
Everybody over here.
As you look
Crowded.
As you look in that storage
He's fake,
room,
gotta get him.
as you look into that storage room, you see that there's large barrels of goods about,
Oh, those are big. Taller than I am.
several suits of armor.
That's when standing on top of something on the map.
Yeah.
I think one of those barrels is upside down.
Oh, whoops.
Your barrel's upside down.
And it's a very looks somewhat dusty
No.
of a storage room.
Yeah, I guess not.
This is where some of our problems began. Takes a quick look around, and he goes back to the 2 sets of double doors he just passed, and he shuts and he bars both of them. You hear several locks turning. All right, are you ready?
But should go ahead.
Ready.
I'm out tanning stuff. I'm not even
That's right. You're not here.
You're not here.
Gregory.
Ready.
So I guess she's one of the ones we're keeping the secret from?
I guess. Looks at you.
Don't tell the half elf, but we're totally going to do this.
All right.
It's a present.
Wallpaper.
Wallpaper.
Loading floor B1.
Hey, look, the new level just loaded.
So he takes you into this other area as well, and it's through that trapdoor. He moves off the suit of armor and moves you down into this.
What kind of armor is it?
It seems to be some metal armor, steel or iron or something.
Is it plate?
It is plate. It is
Does it
well
look like
crafted.
it could fit me?
It looks. Make an Arcana check.
Whoa. Okay.
Would you prefer if I made this check?
That's a little spookity.
Or just put the stuff in.
Ooh. Total 20.
All right. This armor has a slight. It's rather dark in this room. There's no actual torch sconces, and after he shut the door, it's quite dark for those of you who don't have dark vision. But you can see this armor still glistens as if shining underneath moonlight, despite being very dark in this room.
Oh, that's weird.
You do tell that this armor is in fact enchanted. You don't know exactly with what without messing around with it for a while, but this armor looks nice. Anvard doesn't notice a thing.
I'm going to inquire about the armor.
Pushes. Okay.
Is this armor special in some way?
It quite is. Many of the artifacts that we hold on to are part of grand stories of great heroes. This armor itself was forged by a legendary blacksmith whose name has been lost to time. Only his items and deeds still remain. This particular armor was used by a dragon slayer who went out on a great purge of the giant worms. All that we have left now is the armor.
I suppose that it would be too valuable for you to loan out to common adventurers, eh?
To common adventurers, perhaps, but if we do end up trusting you, and if everything begins to go well, perhaps at some point later on.
How about we flip for it?
He looks at you, rolls his eyes, and keeps walking forward.
You're not proficient in heavy armor.
Yeah, but then you'd have it.
So, do all of you go down the ladder?
Why would you care how we
Yeah.
acquire said
All right.
armor?
Everyone just climb straight down the ladder, except for Chakala, because you're not there.
Don't ask questions.
So walking into
Then you get
the
from
main stone chamber, you see that it is a largely natural cavern with several shelves, and there is this one raised pedestal that looks like it should be holding a book, and there actually is a beam of slightly magical light pointing down there. It feels and looks like sunlight, but there is no actual natural light source going down onto it. And the pedestal,
Into electricity. It's amazing.
the pedestal is empty.
How well can Sam and Grady see here?
I don't have
It
dark
is lit
It's
down
well
here.
lit?
It's
Okay.
lit down here with torches. It's dimly
It's an
lit.
underground club. Of course it's lit.
Got it.
No, no,
No problem. You got it, Eric. No problem.
no.
So he takes you into the center and says, "This is the problem. You may be noticing that our centerpiece is missing.
No, I didn't notice
Unfortunately,
that at all.
yes.
That it
Just does not tie the room together when it's gone.
He gives you a quick look like, well, that's true. Have you ever heard of a McGuffin?
Is that some sort of pastry?
I don't know, but I'm gonna find out.
That's a McMuffin.
What roll did this go?
I guess this would be
Natural one.
Total 20.
awesome.
So it is a pastry.
History?
Yes.
History 19.
All right.
It's a natural one, but it would be
What?
a six.
So either you know what it is or you do not know at all.
Yeah. So you're not there. You are like, oh, it's a pastry. He looks at you like, ignoring you.
A McMuffin.
You are not from this realm, and
So your
whatever.
magical cookbook was stolen from you?
yes, actually, it gives you a kind of shocked look. See, this is actually a recipe for story time. We would give these to
I thought you were going
bards.
to say recipe for disaster there.
Sometimes we give these. We give these to bards who begin training here to learn how to tell stories. You flip to the first chapter. Okay, we need a protagonist, and they point at one random protagonist from the chapter. Okay, it's a young boy. Well, he needs a sidekick. They flip the next chapter. Sidekicks and his dog. A story about a boy and his dog. Well, what do they need to do? They need to. And you see, he's actually pulling out a small book. He's flipping through pages.
The dog's going to die at the end.
Flip through.
Guaranteed.
Shh, we're not through the plot twist yet. Flips the page.
There is no plot twist. If there's an animal involved, it's going to die.
He flips to another part.
Certainly not in the case of the Kraken.
And
Kraken's
it's like,
not an animal,
oh,
it's a
and they must. Oh dear. Well, in this story, they must go to a cursed island and destroy an evil artifact. And meanwhile,
Like
along the
those
way,
like us.
plot twist, flips, plot twist. Well then.
You actually have a table that you're doing this?
I have a loose table. No, the boy dies, and the dog must complete the quest on his own.
Plot twist.
That is a twist.
That doesn't sound like a very good story, but
I
you get the idea.
actually approve of the story entirely.
Wait, is this some kind of book where you do these things and they actually come true?
What I just spoke to you of was the basic McGuffin that we would give to our bards who are learning here. Meanwhile, the sacred McGuffin is a bit more similar to that. You see, we are able to use it to read the plot of the world around us. Think of it as scrying in a way, if you're familiar with the magic arts.
Yes.
We are able to look into this book and read what is happening right now around us. No matter where it is on this planet, we can find out what's happening. And if we think the story deserves recording, we send people there to record it firsthand, which is how we have been considered at times to be bearers of bad news and bad luck. Like I said, the biggest stories always begin with loss. However,
Do they though?
there is a great need to get this book back.
So whoever has it could simply see us coming for it and prepare themselves.
They can't see specifics per se, but if they know how to read the book, if they know how to look for this, they could see that a party of adventurers is trying to come get the book. And he could prepare for that. How you go about doing that, he'll have no idea.
So how come this place was? Is it just those two doors that were protecting this whole fanfic becomes canon thingy?
No, there are several magical traps that have been dispelled on the way in, along with several physical traps. And the book itself is protected. That's where we become uneasy. Sure, a thief could get into here just fine, but there's many more flashier and more important looking items around here. That pseudo armor wasn't just there for looks, you know. We were actually hoping someone would steal that before ever getting to this vault. The fact that someone was able to get down
armor
here...
perhaps called the red herring armor?
No, it was the armor of Red Heron, but that is where something started from.
Beginning to see a pattern.
Bad puns, oh yeah!
They're everywhere.
If you like to... We've kept the room largely untouched since the robbery. If you'd like to look around, feel free to. I'll be in the corner here if you need anything else.
I don't have the observant feat yet.
Cool. I am going to look for clues.
Roll an investigation
I
check.
guess I will as well. How long ago did the book disappear?
5.
That would have been 3 days ago.
Okay, I'm going to make investigation. I'm going to make an investigation check.
Alright.
It's bound to be better than mine.
Nope.
I made an
Really?
investigation check.
5.
We tied.
12.
Give me 5.
Gregory, are you rolling or what are you doing
Sure.
here?
Throw the goat.
Throw the goat.
Throw the goat in.
Also 12.
Also 12?
Yeah,
So
just
the
not
two of
good.
you take a look around and you see that there are several rather interesting
Maybe
artifacts
instead you should have helped me, so I would have had advantage.
on the shelves and cabinets around
Modifier
it.
to investigation.
The actual what are you looking for specifically?
Clues. Are there any blue paw prints anywhere?
There is one letter with a blue paw print on it.
What? There we go. I found a clue.
I'm going to use divine sense.
Okay.
So
What's that?
You can see
anything.
if there's a fiend or undead within 30 feet of you that's in visual sight.
All right.
Any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet.
All right. So you just use that.
Yes, just use.
Looking about this, taking a moment and holding your divine symbol, you see it. There is a sense of divine energy surrounding the room and focused in that little light that's going on to the book. But you don't see any celestials, fiends, or undead.
Yeah.
Just kind of look to Brother Onward. Was this letter here before?
Yes, that was. See, there was once. He goes into this long-winded tale about how there was once a dog that learned how to speak through some magical or divine gift, and he used this gift of speech to try to befriend and become very helpful to people. It ended up becoming a detective in the local agency there, and went through a lot of very interesting missions and found some criminals, and was just a very good boy.
Not what I asked. Could I look for any indication of who might have taken the fanfic becomes canon?
Sure, roll an investigation.
I'm going to help him.
All right. Sure, both of you roll.
It gives me
He gets advantage.
Oh, got it.
But that's the same as both of you rolling.
That was terrible. We'll
It's
finish.
just modified better.
Right.
Yes.
8.
Total 8. You're looking around, and
To help.
Yeah.
you, as you're looking, you start walking back in the hallway, seeing where it comes from. As you're about to take a step, Andre goes, "Wait! Don't step right there." And you look and you see that there's a raised floor plate that you're about to step onto.
Dang it, Stefan's not here. Say under my breath. None of you hear it.
So
Nat 20!
what are you looking for?
If I heard him say, "Oh, dang, Stefan's not here."
You hear him say that.
What is it exactly that you have against Stefan?
The fact that he tried to kill me.
Don't you think that some people might deserve a second chance?
As I recall, in the arena it's either thumbs up or thumbs down.
Well, we're not in the arena now, are we?
All of life is an arena.
It's an interesting way of seeing things.
Anvar takes that in.
So do you just imagine life being yourself in competition with everyone else?
Exactly.
So the two, as you're looking around, is there anything specifically you're looking for? Before we got sidetracked about Blue's Clues.
At least some of us have something to base our worldview off.
Behind.
As you're looking around, it's a hard stone floor, and there's not a lot of dust around, so you don't see any footprints or anything.
You had your worldview thrust upon you.
And as you're looking at the pedestal itself, I imagine you guys are looking at this pedestal, right?
Yes.
You see that there is actually a ring around the pedestal, and there is actually one chunk of the ring, like engraved into the floor, that is somewhat broken. Like there's a gap.
That looks like an arcane
Like a
sigil to me.
person-sized gap we're talking here?
If the person is really skinny, yeah.
Can I make an Arcana check on the circle?
Sure.
Can I do a better Arcana check on the circle?
You may.
Dag nabbit, I'm rolling terribly.
You roll the same thing.
Got an 8.
I got a 4.
18.
All right. You do see that this is some degree of a protection or an alarm ward,
Okay.
and it's been broken in such a way that the alarm is still active and hasn't actually been triggered.
Hey, I'm keeping up my whole thing of being terrible at the things I'm good at, but good at the things I'm terrible at.
So, whoever did this,
Hasn't been triggered?
it has been triggered. It's been broken in such a way that it has not been triggered. So, whoever this guy is
He knew
very
what he wanted and he was good at getting it.
yeah. If you want to look around at the rest of the items, see if anything else looks like it's been tampered or touched.
Sure, why not?
Investigation still.
Let's take a look. See.
What is my
There we go.
investigation?
Love
What
a
was it
10.
last time?
18.
18?
Do I roll again for investigation?
Yeah, because you're now investigating to see if anything's been
21?
shifted. Moved. All right.
Is my wife with us?
No, she's currently taking care of the livestock and sailors and stuff.
Got it.
She's being helpful.
Yes.
Probably keeping an eye on Stefan too.
At least someone's keeping an eye on him.
adopt Stefan. How old is Stefan?
Stefan is
What are you,
probably
11?
around like somewhere between his late teens to early 20s.
If I had the silver, I could cast the coming of age part of ceremony.
We're gonna have a bar mitzvah for Stefan.
How much gold do you
It's be
have?
one of those weird
15.
And how much silver per gold? Is that 10 silver per gold?
Well, I need-
Total War where you adopt people who are like the same age as you.
I need 25 gold worth of powdered silver.
Oh, God. Okay.
This is one of our side quests is holding Stefan bar mitzvah.
You could ask the clerics if they have the ritual equipment. They may or may not have
That is
it.
true.
They may not give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
It makes
You might
sense
tell
that
them
those
you
people have
need
to
it
send
for
them
the
equipment.
thing.
Oh, also,
Brother Almar, how about this? Do you know who stole this?
That would have been.
that is why I have independent investigators such as yourself. You see,
Wait, we're hired?
Can we get 25?
hold on,
Are we getting
hold on,
paid for
hold
Life
on.
goal. I want to make Stefan a paladin.
Life goal, I want to turn
Okay.
him into an Oathbreaker paladin.
I am keeping both of those in mind now. So, having, looking at you guys, see, I can read all of the detective novels, true and false, that there have ever been committed to pen and paper. But,
You've got a
that
lot of
doesn't-
really bad literature.
yes, you're not there though. A little voice in my head is talking to me. However, that doesn't mean that I'll actually know how to do this. I've spent most of my life in this building. I need feet on the ground. How I'll be paying you in the beginning right now is I have an ally in town, and he will be providing you with free room and board for the time being.
That's always nice.
That's nice and all, but why exactly should we help you?
If you don't help us, you'll never get off this island.
That's not necessarily true.
I have a
For
feeling
the
that it
sake
is
of the
true.
story, it probably is.
You are welcome to find your own way off, and if you find one, please tell someone.
I just need to get high enough level till I learn plane shift and bam, 5 out of here.
I believe I speak for most of the rest of the party when I say that we will help you.
All right. I don't know.
Oh, dang it, now I'm the dad of the group.
You always would.
Dang it!
Paladins always
You see
do
that
that.
alignment?
You thought
You're
you
always
weren't?
the dad.
You're a lawful good
I
paladin.
mean, you're
and
not
you're married.
wrong. And I'm married, gosh dang it.
But why would I want him to be Oath of Conquest when he could be an Oathbreaker?
All right. So
I can't speak for my crew, but I'm in.
all right. So you're in. Gregory, do you want to like look around at it? Oh yeah, you guys were looking at seeing if any items were stolen or anything, right? What'd you roll for that?
Conquest and redemption.
22?
Regardless,
I think it was
If you're the dad, I'm the rebellious teenager.
Total.
You are.
total,
Yeah. Okay. So as this is all going on, the two of you are looking around and you start shifting through weapons. You see there's a
Can't be
Except
There's
when she's,
a,
except when she's involved, you get all
desk.
sentimental.
that has several compartments
So she's the
that
emo
are opening up.
teenager.
And as you open up one of the compartments, it just keeps pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling and
Like
pulling.
all the way
I'm
across
using
the room.
certain
More or
children.
less.
She's like, ah.
And you look inside, and there's just files, 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 and files and files.
Oh my god.
So you shut that and you move on.
Yeah, no.
You keep looking around and you see there's,
Finally!
some other on another table. There's just a row of swords, daggers, various objects that can be used for weapons with varying levels of either you assume either historical importance or some innate magical or celestial blessed
After, would you like
properties to them.
I hate my life.
You're showing the rogue the shiny things. He's
Um,
not a pirate.
I'm not gonna steal anything.
She's an honest merchant, probably.
He'll probably steal them.
I
I
mean,
don't steal things.
I'm a
He'd
pretty
probably
honest
steal them
person.
out of
The only thing
curiosity.
I steal is applause.
You probably like
and
walk out and be
Um,
like, I didn't know that you couldn't take these out of here.
Gregory, actually, of interest to you, you do see that there are some interesting tools that seem to be made out of materials that you've never seen before.
He's in the room
Um,
and you're stealing right in front of him.
There's you find that there's several just like very you see a spool with very very fine but really strong cord. Not even cord would be accurate to call it. Almost like a spider web.
Roll a total 20 to try and investigate again.
Okay. You're currently flipping through. Yes.
If our character's not going to do much besides look up and wonder where everybody went to,
Uh huh.
then I'm going to go because it's after 9.
Okay. Bye bye. So you guys are looking around at these various items and artifacts of interest. More or less, probably you. There's interesting. You see robes and scrolls. Some of them burned or unreadable. And to you, it seems almost haphazard, the useful to the useless. Some things held onto for some sentimental value, and some things for their innate actual use and worth. You also notice that there's a table with a deck of cards on it. You find that there's a couple of jars and vases under the thing. You find various goods like
Please
that.
don't do that.
Pull out all the cards.
Anything interesting?
Curiosity.
I pulled them all out just because I would. Anyway,
I'm going to ask, what's his face?
Onvard.
Onvard about
looking
the
for clues.
thread or whatever it is.
Ah, yes. This is a very interesting thread. It's near unbreakable. And it's so fine, nearly invisible as well. And he has a slight glimmer in his eye that you've never quite seen before. Unlimited. And he starts like pulling out a spool. And you see that for a moment there's almost a childlike quality to it as he's just like pulling. And he like hands you one end like, look.
Try it.
Wait.
Wrap it around like 600 times and steal it if you want.
Is it made by someone named Ariadne?
Can I like pull out my clock thing
Okay.
and attach it to it and let it spin?
Mm-hmm.
you'll be Jaegering.
It starts whirling some in until it click and stops because the spool you put inside your little clockwork tripwire thing, or your clockwork mechanism, is actually full, and it looks like it's just about the size of a small, like a child's hand, really. Still as full as it first was. And with a slight grin, he starts pulling on it. Make a mild strength check.
Wait, what is that?
Roll strength.
17.
Cool. You just like how you just kind of hold on, and it starts unspooling it. He keeps rolling it back up until it catches taut in your little grabbing mechanism, and you're and it releases that, spins back up, and rolls back onto the roll. However,
Which roll?
his roll.
Okay.
However, if you cut a section of it and he cuts it, it only keeps its strength for about 10 minutes.
I'm so confused. Nearly unbreakable, but you can just cut it.
Yes.
You have to be holding the spool to cut the thing.
So it's Craction fishing line.
It's the best fishing
This
rod.
seems extremely useful. I don't suppose we could take it with us as we are adventuring.
He looks at the item, looks at you, roll persuasion. Alright.
Well, I'm terrible at persuasion, so I'm just
He looks at it, and he looks at the
Wait,
little...
wait, wait. 13.
He looks at it, looks at the item that you've
Jack of
that you used.
You don't add up something you're proficient in.
I'm not proficient in persuasion.
Jack of all trades.
Apparently.
Yeah.
You're not proficient in persuasion, you're a bard.
He's a tinkerer.
What determines what I'm proficient in?
The little bubbles next to the things.
Yeah, but how did you determine what to fill in?
We just decided.
We roll randomly.
And we figured since we have such a persuasion heavy face already, we should round out with someone who's good at other things, like investigation, I think. I think we gave you investigation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good investigation.
I mean, it's
I'm just
plus
smart.
3, but
He made his own
I
character,
have
so.
persuasion and investigation.
Anyway, so
somebody who is.
he looks at the thing. Did you make that? The little device in your hand.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I'm a bit of a tinkerer.
He starts looking at this thing in his hand. I think you could put this to good use. I'd love to see what stories happen because of it. And he hands you this item. You have the infinite spool of temporarily unbreakable thread.
Nice.
Until given a better name. Anything else?
I want to
I
find
got
out
an-
who did
I
it.
got an 18 to investigation.
I
Alright.
still have my total 20.
Looking around, you see some of the things that they've seen before. You do see some nice suits of plate armor. That some of them don't look enchanted per se, but do have a very good quality to them. You see again, there's the deck of cards. You see there's these two decanters. You see that there's
Pick up the deck of
various.
cards. Yes,
There's
pick up the deck of cards.
there's actually several decks of cards.
Just take them all, shuffle them all together, and leave them in one giant pile.
Please do.
That can be a one shot. There's you see there's also some tomes and books about some scrolls. Some of these books and scrolls are burned or otherwise destroyed beyond what seems to be useful, but have been kept for some reason. There are some things that are actually in display cases. You see some old arms and armor. Some are near rusted away, and some are in pristine condition as well.
Why are there so many decks of cards?
Ah, those.
Those.
They just seem
Some
rather out of place.
wizard,
Oh,
he
Randy.
gives you a slight look,
I don't know what you're looking at.
decided that messing with the fabric of reality would make for a great story. And others, like-minded, made similar things. We have collected some of the more interesting sets, and they're here in this vault for a reason.
In other words, keep your hands to yourself.
The cards.
Would either of these decanters happen to be a decanter of endless water?
Yes, that's exactly what one of them
I'm
is.
gonna try and sleight of hand and steal one of the decks.
Alright, roll a sleight of
Oh
hand.
no! Oh, there goes the campaign, guys.
I really want
yeah.
one.
I know you
That's
do.
exciting.
It's about to get dead. You are all going to.
Ooh, nice.
Let's
I'm
see.
not
go.
going to die.
Sorry,
I'm
I should
going
put
to
on
Sorry, perception. Where's
Oh,
perception
you
in general?
rolled too well.
Oh,
Oh,
If
no.
it's not in his skills,
It's a wisdom thing, right?
yeah, it's 3.
Alright,
I have to go home.
alright. Got it. That's his passive.
What time is it?
Okay. Alright.
What'd you roll?
19.
He rolled a 22 perception, because he's looking right at you. And he just looks at that. Okay. He not so subtly takes another deck and slides that one under your hand. This one's maybe a little more your speed.
Might we perhaps be able to
I still take it.
Okay.
borrow the decanter of endless water?
He looks at that. Roll persuasion.
I'm good at that.
I can roll any
It
can.
fell off my rolling surface. That would be
Why weren't you higher? Would have gotten away with it.
things. What is this? Just simple math.
So,
13.
Okay.
That's not that good.
He looks at that, looks at you, smiles and says, "Perhaps once I know you and your need a bit better, we'll talk about that.
Of course.
For right now, I'd like it to stay where it is. If you waltz into town with various magical artifacts, there's only 2 or 3 places you could have come from."
do you have a non-magical rapier that just has some storied history that I could have? I don't need a fancy rapier. I just would like a rapier.
Come to think of it, I could use a replacement for my rapier.
Sure. I don't get it. Can't get it.
Why do you need a replacement?
It's infinite rope.
Because apparently mine was lost
You didn't
when I
ask for
fought.
it.
I did ask.
Yeah, he stabbed at the Kraken as he was being pulled, and we went hit 0 hit points and went unconscious, and was pulled up. It was
Whipped.
released.
That makes sense.
Get the rapier back.
No.
You roll a persuasion on just a non-magical
Jason,
rapier.
come back with my
Just a rapier. Total 20.
Total 20.
I see. things I'm bad at, I'm amazing at. The things I'm good at.
He looks at you and he says, he walks over to the rapier table and he's looking at them and he's like picks up one and you see that it's very ornate and he looks, he's like, puts that down, picks up another one which looks rusty and is like, actually as he holds up, it's dripping water. Puts that one down and he looks at another one. It appears normal as he lifts it up. You see a gout of flame in front of it. He just starts picking up these various rapiers. You can tell that this isn't his specific area of expertise. And each one he picks up seems to be rather fancy until he grabs one that's just normal, simple, well-balanced, diamond encrusted.
Normal, simple.
Puts it down and says, "There's a blacksmith in town. Perhaps you should speak to him. He'll have more of what you're looking for. I'm sorry. There's nothing here that I'm aware of, at least. My domain is generally the libraries, not the armory. Are you going to ask for a present too?"
No.
Okay. Well, if that will be all,
At least I got something.
I'll show you to where you can spend the night, and then in the morning, you can head towards the village.
Woo.
So shows you to your rooms.
Let's play chicken.
Do you choose to let Chakal know what's going on?
Nope.
Nah.
Were you paying attention? Were you?
I don't volunteer. I don't go to her and tell her.
Okay. All right. So you do tell her?
Only if she asks.
Okay. She's rather into her crafting at the moment and doesn't ask. All of you are about to go to bed. Kalon,